Tell you what, Scraby, this show ain't going to the NIT either. Welcome into Gwynn and Chris, everybody. We play in the NCAAs or bust. It is Gwynn and Chris on a Monday, getting another week started here on San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. We have a lot to get done today. Chris Ello, Matt Scraby together in the Bill Howe studios, where we know how. Tony Gwynn Jr. is down in Peoria, where he's seems like he's been for at least a year. I know it's only been a few weeks, but, you know, I miss the guy. I miss him. We're going to see him this week.
You miss him?
Yeah, I miss him. You know, I miss the laugh. I miss his, input. I miss him defending LeBron James.
Wow.
No, we're going to go see Tony this week. At the end of the week, we'll be broadcasting live Thursday and Friday from Peoria. So we will be going there. But for now, we are here, and we'll just have to wait for Tony to join us later. Padres are playing today.
Playing right now, playing the Giants.
I got to tell you, the game's on up here.
Walker Buehler is
in the fourth
looking
inning.
good.
Thank goodness for Walker Buehler. I got to tell you something, Scrape. We're going to get into this in the second segment, but they always say, what do they say about spring training? Numbers. They don't matter.
Oh, I thought they meant that's how they're going to do all year.
Let me just tell you something. The Padres better hope they don't matter. Because our starting pitching numbers are abysmal in spring training. So we'll get into that a little bit later. The hitting wasn't too good either. Was it yesterday? They got perfect gamed for 5 innings by Brandon Pfaadt.
Brandon Pfaadt is always giving the Padres trouble.
Well,
okay.
Anyway, there's not a lot of good happening at spring training, at least in the in stat-wise. And not a lot to be confident about based on the performances we've seen so far. But we'll get into that in segment number 2. Segment number 1, darn that balls and strikes not being in the WBC.
Wait a second.
The ABS system.
Wait a second.
Look, I don't care. I don't like it. But if they would have had it, look, you see, it doesn't matter whether I like it or not. It's going to be in Major League Baseball now, right? So if it's in Major League Baseball and the game was played in a Major League Baseball stadium, was it not?
It was.
Played in the Miami Marlins ballpark last night.
I don't think they're finished installing it yet, Chris.
Oh, please.
They were screwing in some stuff during the game.
There was a couple of loose nuts and bolts.
They just said, and it makes sense. They weren't going to determine whether or not they're going to use it because they weren't sure if it was going to be ready for the WBC. And now that it's ready.
Get out of here. It would have been ready.
No.
Please.
I do not want this thing to go in unless it is 1,000% ready.
Well, they didn't need the ABS system to let everybody know that the pitch to old Perdomo was low, below the knees, and it would have given us a finish.
This is the worst part
for the ages. That's all I'm talking about, Scraby. Whether I like the ABS system or not doesn't matter. It's coming. It's here to stay. But it wasn't in the WBC tournament, and because of that, it would have been Mason Miller versus Fernando.
Man.
With everything on the line. That would have been theater to remember.
That really would have been.
What do you think? It would have been better than anything that happened at the Academy Awards last night. Let's put it that way.
Trust me, I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, it was. It would have been drama of the highest order for Fernando to step in there against Mason Miller with first and third. And you know what? Perdomo would have stole second. So
probably
it would have just been, Fernando gets a hit, the DR wins.
Yep.
And if Mason Miller gets him out, the US wins. And what would you have rooted for? I guess would it have been universal out there that everybody would have rooted for Mason Miller to strike out Fernando right there and make sure the USA advances?
I'm Team USA.
Okay, so you would have been against Fernando. Totally.
I did find myself a couple times during the game feeling a little weird because I was like, I really want Fernando to jack a home run right here.
Fernando came up in the biggest spot of the game earlier in the 7th inning, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. They're down a run. He gets a fly ball. It's tied up. He gets a dribbler up the line. It's tied up. He gets a base hit. They take the lead, and Fernando wails at strike 3 from David Bednar.
That looked at it like a 2022 Fernando.
It didn't it? He was so impatient. He jumped at both those pitches, the last 2 pitches,
and
that at
low.
bat.
And
neither of them were over, and it was Fernando back to the old days for sure. Scraby, I thought the exact same thing, and Manny hit a couple of balls on the screws. Bobby Witt Jr. has become
great,
become incredible over there at shortstop. He robbed him once, but Yeah, I don't know what you root for. I mean, Mason Miller's kind of new to the Padres, in comparison.
But he's our guy.
I know he is, but I'm just saying in comparison to the love we have, built for Fernando and for Manny, I don't know. I think some people would have wanted to see Fernando at least, I don't know. We don't know, and it doesn't matter because it didn't happen.
Here's how it was going through my head when Fernando came up in the 7th inning. I was like, I really want the USA to win, but I also really want Fernando to hit a home run right here and just be Fernando.
Shot and put him down by 2.
Just be Fernando, and then he struck out, and I was like, well, that was Fernando of the past.
It was Fernando of the past. So anyway, USA, rah rah.
Hey,
we go on to.
Don't say rah rah.
What's the matter with that?
Just got to be more excited that this team is in the championship for the 3rd straight year.
There's no room here for me to do a cartwheel, Scraby. So I'm just
3rd straight appearance.
Going rah rah. They won. They move on to the finals. They'll face either Italy or Venezuela tomorrow. Aaron Nola is going to start tonight for Italy. They originally going to go with the Colorado Rockies future Hall of Famer Michael Lorenzen.
No, they're saving him for the giant killer.
I guess they're saving him for tomorrow if it gets that far. But Nola is going to start tonight against Venezuela. That game gets underway at 5:00. I will say this. I thought the World Baseball Classic was just something I was not going to be interested in. But for the first time in the history of this tournament, I found myself watching this one. And, it's still a little strange to me. I can't quite put my finger on why I feel it's strange. But what I feel is I'm watching an all-star game, right? Because the game seems secondary to the actual matchups of watching Bobby Witt Jr. come up and face, whoever they got. Or Paul Skeens, right?
Yeah.
Paul Skeens mostly, but Paul Skeens facing – Juan Soto facing Fernando, facing Manny. I don't think Manny's ever faced him before because we already discussed this. The Padres never get to play Paul Skeens in the 2 years he's been a Pirate.
Nope.
But so I was looking at the matchups, but I felt like it was an all-star game with all the teams mixed up. It wasn't just American League and National League. Yeah, it was just mixed up. Everybody's everywhere.
Because at this point in the tournament, it's all big league.
Pretty much all big league player. I mean, Venezuela's got a big league club. They got Ronald Acuna on that team. Anyway,
Luis Arraez.
Yeah, Luis Arraez could end up getting the at-bat against Mason Miller tomorrow in the championship if it works out that way. But anyway, USA moves on 2-1. Wasn't exactly the game of a lifetime. I mean, all the runs were scored on home runs.
Yeah.
And but it got exciting at the end. It was down to the last batter. And the one thing I'm going to go to you say, the one thing I will say for Perdomo, because I did want to see Fernando come up, swing the bat. I know that we are going to have the ABS, but you and I both know, and if you're listening, you know this too. There are going to be situations with the ABS in the bottom of the 9th inning, with a game on the line, where a 3-2 pitch is going to fool a hitter so badly that he just can't pull the trigger. And the ump's going to call him out because it's right there on the corner. And the batter's going to tap his helmet because he's got nothing to lose. And they're going to show it on the replay. And the ball is going to be less than a whisker outside. And he's going to get a walk out of it. And that just, to me, that's not what it's supposed to be for. To me, it's supposed to be for the egregious mistake that changes the complexion of a game. And I'll say the same thing for, strike 3 and ball 3. If a pitcher gets, ball 4, he's going to tap his head. The catcher's going to tap his head. And you're going to see that the seams of the baseball touched the line going through.
So that's what I don't agree with either.
Right. And so it's going to be a strike and the batter's going to be out.
More than half the ball should be inside the zone for it to be a strike.
But then you're going to have to judge how much of the ball's inside the zone. I mean, everything's going to come down to a fraction. And that's why I say what I've been taught, I know it's old school, get off my lawn. But if it's 2 strikes and the ball's that close, you got to swing. You got to pull the trigger. That's, to me, what baseball is. It's not, being able to take a pitch that is 1/8 of an inch off the plate. It's put the ball in play. That's what I like about baseball. So that's what I'd say to Perdomo there, because there is no ABS. You relied on the ump. and
it
he
was a
got
ball.
you. I agree, but it wasn't a ball.
Why would Perdomo swing at that? That was so far down.
Under these rules, it was not a ball. Under these rules, it was a strike, and the game was over. So I hate to tell you.
I get it, and I get what you're saying. You're saying that ABS works in situations like last night. They could have used it, and it was an egregious call.
When there's an egregious call, I just remember a game a year or two ago. Cronenworth was up in a huge spot late in the game, maybe bases loaded. Pitch was 5 feet outside. That's when I want the ABS. You want the ABS. Yes. Everybody wants to say, look, they missed that one by so much. We gotta change that. But when you're missing by 1 inch, that's not important to me. And that's where my argument is against the whole thing.
I think there's a little bit of, and I know that I live in a fantasy land when I say stuff like this, but there's a little bit of gamesmanship. Like, I knew that ball was way outside. I'm not going to challenge this or whatever. I live in a fantasy land, Chris, but I feel like there's something like that in these games. Like, these guys, it's going to be embarrassing if they keep calling for these.
I know that CB Buckner
to be reviewed.
I know that CB Buckner was doing a game the other day and had 4 overturned in the first inning. I mean, that's CB
Buckner's always been bad.
Great, but is that good for baseball? Is that is that going to be good? Do we want to, like, it's the NBA? We got to get to a break. The NBA does the same thing now. Every ball that goes out of bounds under 2 minutes to play, we have to stop the game, and the officials have to go look at that.
When we get to the Aztecs,
it takes them 10 minutes to figure out which direction to point. I'd almost just assume go with the call. I know we got to get it right. But do we want the game delayed 6 times in the final minute?
No, and when we get to the Aztecs, I have something to say about replays in basketball.
Yeah, the replay hosed the Aztecs in that game Saturday. I mean, because if you're going to do replay, get it right. Speaking of get it right, I think Brian Dutcher got it right by not going to the NIT. I opened with that. I'll finish the segment with that. We'll talk more about the NCAA tournament, March Madness. The brackets are out. That's a pretty fun day for everybody. But before we get to all of that, Sam Lovett's going to join us at the bottom of the hour from Peoria. These stats better not carry over, because if they do, the Padres may finish behind the Rockies. That's coming up as Gwynn and Chris gets underway. Happy Monday to you.
At Fraser Farms Market, your natural grocer since 19...
These things, it even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
It's gravy from about 45 feet. This caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things, It even tells you, hey, the's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some. A week and a half ago. Scraby doesn't want to, say I'm right because it pains him so badly.
No, I've been waiting for
but
this conversation all day.
Well, Joe Musgrove is going to start the season on the injured list. This is the same Joe Musgrove who is only going to be out for a day or two while he, had a little soreness, and it was normal and expected, and don't worry about it. It's not important. Maybe it isn't still not important, but as I said at the time, I fully expected him to open the season on the injured list. You said, come on. Well, he's opening the season on the injured list, and that goes to Scraby everything that has gone wrong with the Padres starting pitching this spring. I don't think you could ask for any worse situation than what the Padres have right now, with a week and a half to go before the start of the season. And allow me to say, before I go further on it, it's spring training, and I get it. You have to take everything with a, quote, grain of salt. And, a lot of the spring training numbers don't matter. And all I can say to that is you better hope they don't matter. because the Padres starting pitching has been flat out, in one word, awful this spring training. Let's start with the guys that we feel good about, that we're comfortable about.
My guy, Randy Vasquez.
The guy that, okay, all right, I'll get to him. Don't interrupt me when I'm on a roll. First up, Nick Pivetta. We're not worried about Pivetta. He's going to be an all-star. He's going to be great. He's got a 2.00 whip this spring and a 7.88 ERA. And he's one of the best pitchers they've had. Michael King, another guy we're totally confident, totally relying on, no concerns at all. He's got a 9.94 ERA this spring. He's allowed 17 hits in 12 innings. He gave up 3 home runs on 3 straight pitches the other day. I will point out he struck out 14 in those 12 innings. That's a good thing. All right, third guy that we were counting on and totally confident in, no concerns, Joe Musgrove. Just discussed his situation. He's not even going to be ready. Fourth guy, who we felt pretty good about, Randy Vasquez. Until an error was made in the 4th inning yesterday that kind of opened the door to a 4-run rally, Vasquez has been great. But after yesterday, he's up to a 4.15 ERA this spring. That is sparkling compared to the rest. Now, those are the 4 that we felt comfortable with. Then there is a list of 8 other pitchers, 8 of them, count them, any one of whom could be the 5th starter and make us feel good. But let me ask you if you feel good about any of these numbers. J.P. Sears, 8.43. Marco Gonzalez, 13.96. German Marquez, 12.14. Tristan McKenzie, 9.95. Logan Gillespie, 7.84 after giving up a 9-run spot the other day. Matt Waldron, Griffin Canning, neither of them is even healthy to pitch. And that leaves us with Walker Buehler. And you better pray that Walker Buehler is everything he's been so far. He's pitched 5 shutout innings today. He struck out 7. He's allowed 3 hits. And his ERA is pretty good, 3.18. So it's Buehler, and what are you going to do with the rest of these guys? You going to cut them? Can you send him to the minor leagues? Can you hang on to them somewhere just in case Buehler doesn't work? Who is going to be the guy to fill in for Musgrove? I mean, to me, those are fair questions. I don't know. You know, the Padres can say, well, we're going to, figure it out when the time comes. Okay. But I'm thinking about, what are you going to do? You're going to start Pivetta. You're going to start King and cross your fingers. You're going to start Vasquez and feel pretty good. You're going to start Buehler and hope that what he's shown you is real. And then I don't know what you're going to do if you need a 5th starter. Kyle Hart may be the only option. My point is, out of 8 arms, you expected a couple of them to be like, okay, these are the guys that have really, stepped up. But absolutely none of them have. None of them have. I mean, those aren't bad spring training numbers. Those are awful. Like J.P. Sears at 8.43, he looks good compared to the rest of the guys. And you can't tell me that you're going to feel comfortable with J.P. Sears rolling out there. Anyway, Walker Buehler's getting it done today. You know why? He got out of a jam in the 5th inning thanks to none other than Luis Campusano, who threw out a runner trying to steal with 2 men on and 2 out. Campusano, by the way, he's the only Padre base runner so far today in 5 innings. He's got a hit. Otherwise, the Padres have nothing. 5 innings. Tyler Mahle shut him out for 4. Ryan Walker just pitched 1. Yesterday, the Padres got perfect game for 5 innings. Today, they've been perfect game for 5 innings, except for a measly, or no, it's actually a double by Campusano. That's it. So they got 1 hit today. Again, let's just hope that spring training really doesn't matter, because if it does, we're not looking very good. Scrabe, are you the voice of reason now and saying I don't care about any of this?
I just got a text that I'm putting into Padres pen pals because it accurately reflects my emotions.
Okay.
You've spent 9 years telling me spring training doesn't matter. And now all of a sudden it matters.
I didn't say it did. I said you better hope it doesn't.
But
there's a difference.
Why are you so worried? I will tell you this. If I said this, I think you would have been like, it's spring training.
Maybe. But
so there.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to point out here is, can you honestly feel confident based on what you've seen with any of these guys moving forward right now?
I feel confident enough to start a season.
Well, you don't have a choice. The season's going to start whether you want it to or not.
And I was reading earlier today that even with Joe Musgrove on the IL, they have the schedule lines up, so they might not even need that 5th rotation spot for the first 10 or so days of the season.
Okay.
I get it.
So you don't think, I mean, I'm going to throw this away then. None of these things matter to you?
Well, I'm stuck in a hard place because I would have said they mattered last year and I would have been yelled at for being spring training.
You'd have been yelled at by Tony, and I'd be yelled at by Tony for this. But my point is if you, how do I best explain this? I
get what you're saying. Like
if you give the starting football job to JJ McCarthy and you announce him as your opening day starter, you're Kevin O'Connell, and in the last exhibition game he actually is playing because it's different than usual in the NFL, and he goes out and goes 0 for 12 with 3 interceptions, it doesn't matter, but it just doesn't make you feel great going into the first game.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to express here.
The feels.
It doesn't matter. None of these numbers matter, and I think I was clear by saying that. But the feels. How do you feel good about saying, German Marquez has won the 5th starter spot? How can you give it to him?
I don't feel good about that. I feel good.
How can you say Tristan McKenzie's going to be my long man? You don't feel good about it. JP Sears, I feel comfortable he'll be a lefty long guy out of the wood. No. Marco Gonzalez? I mean, 13.96. The guy gave up 11 runs in one outing the other day. I know it's only spring training. I get it. But you're still standing there. You're Craig Stammen. You're seeing 11 runs score off this guy. You can't be in a hurry to put him back in a game.
I don't know that they ever expected those guys to be a part of the roster to start the season, at least.
Well, they're all.
I know we didn't.
I'll say this: they're all proving they don't belong.
We knew that. I can't argue that. JP Sears, we didn't think was going to be on the opening day roster. German Marquez, we didn't think so. Tristan McKenzie, we didn't think so. I'm trying to think of the other guys.
Well, I'll say one thing that I know one guy we did think so, Michael King. And, 9.94 with 1.74 whip is not making me feel cozy.
No, Diesel agrees with you. The feels are off, and I get that, but
that's all it is. You're right. It doesn't matter. They could all come out and throw, shutout ball the first week of the season. Let's hope they do. All right. We don't know where we're going next because Sam Levitt has us in a holding pattern.
He said, "Can we do 340?" And I said, "Sure, let's do that." 1 minute later, actually, I might make it. Want to play it by ear? So we might be having Sam. We may not until 340.
So basically, after this break, we're going to break the huddle, and even we don't know what play we're running. Come back and find out.
It's Grady special.
Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Shut up, Chris. Stop worrying. believe, as we break the huddle on 2, I believe Sam Levitt is going to join us here from Peoria.
Yes.
Unless that changed while the music was playing.
Nope. He just texted me confirming.
All right. Padres and Giants, no score. 6th inning. Spring training action. Scraby and I are headed there for live shows Thursday and Friday.
What time are you going to leave on Wednesday? Because we're going to be doing a show. I'm going to be doing a show here because
I'm going to scout everything on Wednesday.
Okay, good.
I'm going to leave Wednesday morning, crack of dawn.
Like 5 a.m., 6 a.m.?
Yeah, and then I'll be down there. I'll be doing the show from the patio Wednesday, although the Padres, I believe, are off Wednesday. So as I understand it, I'll be out there kind of just relaxing, chilling by myself.
This is your time to get into the cafeteria.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know if it will be open, but
it may not be open because I think the whole place is shut down Wednesday. But we'll find out.
Maybe we should do a video while we're out there.
Trying to sneak into the cafeteria. I'm not trying to take advantage of it. I just maybe all I want is like a little glass of apple juice or something. I don't think I'm going to break. I don't think I'm going to break the Seidler Bank.
It's always like when they come out, all the players have this delicious looking eggs and sausage.
I know. They all get so much food.
Sandwiches.
We get nothing.
And Tony comes out. He's like, hey, guys.
Yeah, he's just macking out. What'd you guys have for breakfast? And we're like, what? Breakfast? We don't have any breakfast.
Before Sam Levitt comes on, I want to say something about Chris for a second, because I know that, sometimes people think that Chris is overly negative, but I do agree the feels coming into this season are not great. I'm not so worried about the performance so far, but what you are laying out is not false. Like, I do not feel great about the starting rotation.
I didn't make up any of those numbers.
Season.
I didn't make up any of those numbers. They're all the numbers.
I think a lot. I think some people were thinking that you were down on them because they're playing bad in spring training. You're not down on them because of spring training. You're down on them.
They're actually not even. They're 11-11. They're all right. Spring training's been fine.
You're down on them because you're not feeling great about the situation.
I'm not feeling great about any of the starting pitchers. And like I said, there's no way you can tell me that you're going to, Michael King, unless he makes another start here, which I assume he will, right? It's the 16th, so he'll pitch one more time. But, he gives up 6 more runs or 3 home runs in a row. It's going to be in the back of your mind at the very least when he goes out on, Friday the 27th to take on the Tigers.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I'm saying.
Disagree.
Sam Levitt is here. He'll get it straight for us. Hi, Sam. How are you today, buddy?
Hi, Chris. Greetings from the Peoria Sports Complex, where we have a scoreless game in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 1 out. The Giants' infield is in. Right-hander Spencer Bivens on the mound. Nick Solak leading off third base. And Xander Bogaerts has a 3-1 count. The pitch is inside ball 4. Padres will have runners on first and third.
Man, we got that one before.
Scoreless
we're actually
game, bottom 6.
We're a pitch behind you on the TV screen here. So
I'm going to go bet that Xander walks.
I will not give you play-by-play, but I will keep you posted as we discuss.
All right, let's start with something really good. Walker Buehler's outing today. I mean, come on. 4 2/3. He just locked in. I mean, he gave up nothing. Then he appeared like he might have lost, just a touch there for the last out of the 5th inning, but Campusano threw out the runner trying to steal on the double steal, so he gets through 5 shutout innings. I would think this is what the doctor ordered, not only A, for Walker Buehler, but B, for the Padres starting group as a whole right now, Sam.
Yeah, I think it was a really good outing for him. I mean, he had to battle out of trouble a handful of times, did that successfully. 7 strikeouts. He used the fastball a little bit more today, which is something he's talked about wanting to do, and work with Luis Campusano really well today. So I think all in all, it was a really nice start for Walker Buehler. And I think on a day where we sort of officially heard that Joe Musgrove isn't going to be available for the start of the season, I think it's coming into pretty clear focus that Walker Buehler is in all likelihood A, going to make this team, and B, Chris and Scraby may end up being very important to this team. Look, I think Walker's been one of the real good stories of spring training, as we have a play at the plate and the Padres have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah!
Sack fly for
go Padres!
Who was that?
World Series fever.
Yeah.
Oh, Andujar.
All
right.
Yeah, sack fly for Andujar.
Thank goodness.
Scores Solak Padres leading 1-0 in the sixth inning. There you go.
Scraby and I had the daily gambit heavy on the Padres today.
There you go. But back to Walker Buehler. I think he's really been, one of the most interesting stories of spring for a lot of reasons. And I think right at the top, I just talked to him 5-10 minutes ago, and he is very clearly, I think, two things. Number one, in a place health-wise with his elbow that he's not been in a long time. He's pain-free, and that elbow is allowing him to do things pitch-wise that he has not been able to do in a long time. And I think working with this pitching group in Ruben Niebla and Ben Fritz, and obviously a group that deserves all the accolades for the work they've done, he's figuring out how to be a new version of himself. Not the guy that can throw upper 90s with the fastball, but a guy that does have a lot of weapons. And, he talked about it just a few moments ago. He was actually a guy coming out of high school and in college who was more of, a guy based on pitchability and mixing his stuff. And I just feel like there's a potential that the Padres have found something here in Buehler, both in his health and also in him finding a quote unquote new version of himself. And look, as we get towards opening day, I think it's becoming much clearer that he's actually going to be pretty important to this team, especially in the early part of the season. If you're without Joe and you've essentially got 2 rotation spots to fill. So he's been a very intriguing story, and I think it's going to remain that way as we head towards opening day. Today was definitely a very nice start for him.
Walker Buehler, 5 shutties today, and Sam Levitt is in Peoria. All right, Sam, that's the good news for the starters. The rest of it isn't very good, at least by the numbers. And I just read them all off, and people are like, well, I'm too negative, and, I'm giving up the season. First of all, I'm not giving up the season. Second of all, I understand the spring numbers are just that. They're spring numbers. But let's be honest, the Padres better hope that these spring numbers are not indicative of what we're going to see once it's for real. So let me ask you, of the guys, let's go through just in general, Michael King and Marco Gonzalez and J.P. Sears and German Marquez and Tristan McKenna. I mean, everybody's got an ERA of like 9, 10, 11, or 12. Which guys should we not be worried about, and which guys does this really matter for, Sam?
Yeah, I really wouldn't be worried about Michael King. I know that outing, he had a good few innings the other day, and then I believe it was the 4th inning got away from him. I didn't actually go to that game, so I didn't see it with my own 2 eyes. But I really wouldn't be worried about him. I mean, this guy has shown that when he's healthy and right, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he is healthy. And I wouldn't put too much stock into spring training numbers and outings for him. And quite frankly, for him, it just doesn't matter.
Okay.
For the other guys you mentioned, whether it be a Sears or a Marco Gonzalez or a Tristan McKenzie or a German Marquez or a Kyle Hart, any of these guys, I think it very, very much matters. Now, Gonzalez had a really tough outing the other day. I right now see him on the outside looking in as far as this rotation battle. I do think one guy that you didn't mention who pitched after Gonzalez, and it also didn't go well, but I think has a real chance to make this roster, is Logan Gillespie.
Yeah.
And it kind of brings me to a different part of the pitching conversation, which is if Joe isn't ready for opening day, and he's not going to be, you're essentially looking at 2 spots in your rotation you have to fill. And I do wonder, based on the off days the Padres have in the early part of the season and the strength of their bullpen, if they may look to go a little untraditional with one of those spots. Could you see an opener followed by a bulk guy in a Kyle Hart, who's been really good this spring?
Yeah, he's been
Logan
great.
Gillespie who has, aside from that last outing, been really good this spring. It ties into, and I know I'm bringing in a lot of different elements here, but it also ties into, just my opinion, I don't think Jason Adam and Yuki Matsui are going to be on this opening day roster. And that's no fault of Jason Adam or Yuki Matsui. I just think they're going to be more patient, especially with Adam, who has not yet pitched in the Cactus League game. That'll be his next step. But I think they'd like him to get more under his belt before they throw him into a major league game. And Matsui still hasn't pitched in a simulated game since having the adductor strain. So I kind of view it like you're going to have some open spots in that bullpen due to the injuries more than you anticipated. And I kind of wonder if with that situation and the off days and the strength of the bullpen, if you could see a situation where, maybe it is Walker Buehler. I think it will be. Maybe it is German Marquez, but also there could be an opportunity to get a little different on some of these days where you have to fill spots, and maybe that's utilizing a guy like Gillespie or Hart in a bulk role with an opener. And I do get the sense the Padres are going to be open to something like that. So they'll have to work it out, right? I mean, I think Buehler and Marquez to me are the leaders as far as the traditional rotation spots, but I do wonder if they could take one of those spots at least for part of the time and get a little creative while they have the opportunity with the off days early in the year.
Talking to Sammy Lev, he's out of Peoria watching the Padres and the Giants play right now. We're going to be joining Sam out there on Thursday and Friday.
I'm going to be there Wednesday, Sam. If you want to go out of your way and come to the
I will
facility.
not. It's an off day. I'm not going to be at the complex.
I just said it's an off day. If you want to come, what do you have to do? You're going to drive to Flagstaff
it's
by
his
yourself?
Off day.
Chris,
know.
I've been here for 6 weeks. This is our second off day. I'm not going to the complex on the off day.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be there.
Well, have fun.
Have fun.
Oh, that's hilarious. Sam, is Craig Stammen, because I was reading AC this morning, and he was saying that because of the way their schedule lines up, they have 2 off days. They might not need to get to that 5th pitcher in the rotation. He also brought up bullpen games. Do you think Craig Stammen is a bullpen game guy? He is a bullpen guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. Put it this way. I think they're considering, like I said in the last answer, being creative in the early part of the year because of how the schedule lines up, and quite frankly, because of some of the things they're now dealing with, one of them being Joe not being ready for the start of the season. So I think they're considering it. Do I know Craig Stammen's opinion on it? I don't. That's a good question, Scraby, and maybe I'll pose that to him tomorrow morning. I think that's an interesting question. I don't quite know how he feels about it, but I do think it might be an interesting question of, hey, if you had 2 options, a traditional starting pitcher or a bullpen game in the early part of the season, which would you prefer? That's probably not a great way to ask it. I got to work on that. Kind of
write it out tonight, Sam.
Yeah.
Would you like Scraby and I to take a couple cracks at?
No,
I can write one out and email it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, kind of get back in the lab on that one. But Scraby, I understand your question. Yeah, I understand your question. I'm not sure how Craig Stammen feels about it. So, but it's an interesting question. So maybe I'll figure out how to ask it tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Spring training is just what it is, but there are, look, this is why I'm bringing up all these pitchers, because we eventually are going to need, something solid in the 5 spot. And I hope that we find it. And, other than maybe Buehler, nobody has really stepped up. The other guy.
Well, that and Chris, to your point, now that I think is a fair assessment.
Yeah.
If you want to look at, and now it's going to be more than just one spot in the rotation with the Joe news.
Right.
But I do think that's fair that out of all the guys in the 5 spot mix, to me, Walker Buehler has with what he's done been sort of head and shoulders above everybody else. He hasn't had an outing like, let's say, a Marquez, who the other night really struggled. It was not a good outing. He struggled to find it. And Walker, has he been perfect in these outings? No, but I thought today he was good. And he faced a fairly good lineup from the Giants. It wasn't like the A lineup, but there were a number of pretty good guys in there. And I don't know, I like the stuff. I like what he's saying. I like the idea that he's fully healthy. And I like the idea that this is a guy who's had a lot of success in the major leagues before. And you can sell me on that and say, hey, considering the Padres situation starting pitching wise, I want to give that guy a go and see what he can do in the early part of the year.
One of the guys that could have used a really good spring training just to ease everybody's fears is our guy Campusano. Now he has a double today. He's 4 for 27. With that double, he's up to 5 for 29. He's hitting 1 something. He's got a couple of doubles, no RBIs, a couple of walks. You've actually seen him at the plate. Is he making good contact? Does he look out of sorts? Give me a little more further. Give me something beyond the numbers, Sam, from what you've seen from Campusano.
Yeah. He's struggled at the plate. I don't think that's a secret. He struggled at the plate this spring. To me, and I'm no hitting guru.
Yeah.
I feel like with Campy sometimes, and again, I didn't see what he was doing at AAA in the second half of last year, but he has been a guy, and I want to be very clear. I'm no hitting guru. I'm just like looking at it. It seems like a lot of the time, like he's doing something differently, like from year to year, like his setup is different, his stance is a little different. And again, I don't want to get too far into that. It was just an observation over the last, handful of years. And I think this spring training as well. Look, with Campusano, and Craig Stammen made it very, very clear yesterday, Chris, look, it is his job, that second catcher job, that backup catcher job. And Craig was asked yesterday about his struggles offensively, and if there's an opening there as far as the backup catcher for somebody to take that's not named Luis Campusano. And essentially it was shut down. I mean, it is Luis's job, and they are happy with what he's done defensively. And it really seems like, Chris, like that is the goal with him right now, is to get him in a place from the catching standpoint that they're happy with. And as long as he's doing that, it's going to be his job, and they're going to have faith in him heading into the regular season. I mean, that's essentially what Craig Stammen said yesterday. So look, I'm with you. I think it would have been nice to see Campusano have a good spring. I do think it's going to be interesting to see what it looks like offensively in the early part of the year, just because, it didn't go well last year, albeit it was 21 at-bats that were very sporadic and probably wasn't a super fair way to assess him last year. There's been all these, you guys know, all these peaks and valleys in the course of his Padres career, and it was very clear from the very start of spring training that he was going to be given a runway to grab, a runway to have this job at the start of the year and really run with it and get consistent playing time. And Chris, regardless of what he's done in spring, we're going to find out. We're going to find out if he's going to hit, with the type of consistency, if he can, handle the defensive part of it. But unfortunately, I do think it is fair to say that offensively it's been a bit of a struggle this spring, and we'll see if that means anything come the first few weeks of the year.
Sammy Lev, or Sam Levitt, joins us live from Padres Spring Training in Peoria, presented by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Now, we only have a couple minutes left, Sam, but Jackson Wolf is on the mound for the Padres right now. I don't know what he's doing. If he's dancing before he pitches, he's got a weird.
He does move a lot. Not only is he herky jerky in his delivery, but he does a lot of rocking before he gets into it.
It's almost like he's doing the DJ thing that we talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but you know what, Scraby? I'll tell you what, he's had a very, very good spring.
And that's what I was going to ask you.
He's had a very good spring. He just, I think this is his first inning here in the seventh.
It is,
I think. Maybe he was in the sixth inning.
No.
Don't quote me on
Estrada was in the sixth.
Oh, Estrada. Okay, sorry, I was getting on with you guys. So this is, I would assume, Wolf, probably pretty good chance he's going to finish this game, or at least throw a couple of innings here. He's had a good spring, and remember, he's somebody who came up as a Padre, made that one start, got traded, now he's back in the Padres system, and I've heard a lot of good things about what he's done this spring, and it should tell you something that he's still in Major League camp. I don't know that he's going to beat out one of these more experienced guys for a spot. Never say never. There's a reason he's still in Major League camp, but he's had a very solid spring, and I think he's certainly, even if he doesn't make the Major League roster, I think he's certainly somebody to keep in mind as a guy who could be a pretty quick haul up when the Padres have a need. He's had a really nice spring, and not just by the numbers in the Cactus League games. I've talked to some people where they've been very, very impressed by what he's done this spring, his stuff, and how he's looked.
He doesn't do the moving thing when he's from the stretch. It's only when
you can't.
I had enough of Mike Clevenger a few years ago, so that drove me crazy.
Yes. Yeah, but you know what, Chris? It isn't as much as Clevenger.
No.
Jackson he kind of bends down and then kind of rolls into a rock and then starts his wind up. It's not as,
thank goodness,
as distracting as Clevenger.
Sam
but that's just the start, because Wolf his delivery is he's a lot of arms and legs coming at you. So certainly could be a lot of deception.
Another guy to keep an eye on. I know he's tall. He's like 6'5", something like that.
He's big guy.
Big guy.
Yep.
All right, Sam, if Tatis would have come up against Mason Miller last night, what would you have rooted for to happen there?
Well,
there's only one right answer here.
I don't know. What's your answer?
Well,
you got to root for something.
Well, I'll take this angle on it. Okay.
Here comes the political answer.
Wait a minute. Wait, do you want to put your tap dancing shoes on before you?
I like and I feel okay saying this because it didn't happen.
Okay.
I like content. I like engagement. I like virality. And had Fernando Tatis Jr. come up with the winning runs on base and delivered and won the baseball game, even against Mason Miller, from a content standpoint,
I get that.
A virality standpoint, an engagement standpoint, a moment standpoint, I think that's probably, from a Padres standpoint, the best way you could have drawn it up, even if it came at the expense of Mason Miller.
How about at the expense of the entire United States of America?
Yeah, what the heck, Sam? Sam likes his likes. That is wholeheartedly American right there.
Right. And if Tatis had that moment and his shirt was getting ripped off in the outfield as the Dominican team went absolutely wild, you're telling me that's not going to do big numbers?
Oh, it's going to do big numbers. Either way, it's doing big numbers.
Sam,
that's what I'm saying. And I feel comfortable saying this because it didn't happen.
You should ask Mason Miller, though, whether or what he was going to do to throw, like what he was going to throw Fernando, if he thought about it.
Interesting if he had thought about it.
I don't think he's going to.
The one thing, Sam, you don't have to worry about getting big numbers because you get big view numbers just getting out of bed.
Yep.
That draws a big crowd.
And putting on deodorant and all the above.
I've seen it all. Sam, thanks.
Can I actually tell you, just before I go quickly, a funny little tidbit?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Against it here. I was editing a video. And it's done, and it was just like a very random, like grocery video that I was doing. You know how I do some of these videos now. And I was trying to airdrop it to my phone, and by accident, I airdropped it to one of the great Padres social media employees to my left here, in the booth to my left. And I was like, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna watch it." I was like, "No, don't watch it. It's so embarrassing." It's not really embarrassing.
That is really funny.
You got to be careful with the airdrop.
That's why I don't have an iPhone.
You can press the wrong button.
You got to be careful with everything. The other day, I was on the Scraby Tony string of my text messages, and I sent something to Lori that went to them.
That's true, but it wasn't anything.
Fortunately, it wasn't anything. Too mushy.
It was
would have been embarrassing.
It was like, I'll be home
soon.
That
before.
That would have been embarrassing. All right, Sam. I'll see you Thursday or Friday.
I have sent insults about somebody to them.
Oh no.
Before.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I've sent an insult about a bot. Not any bosses here, but I sent an insult to a boss, thinking it was a text, and it had some very colorful language.
Well done, Scrabe. All right, Sam, I'll be there Thursday, Friday, but if you're lonely Wednesday, pop on by. I'll be at the facility.
Okay.
He's not gonna join you.
He's not gonna be that lonely.
He's not gonna join you.
He's not gonna be that lonely.
Thank you, Sam.
All right, Sam Levitt, there he goes. Appreciate him joining us. As always, Sam is he is so fun. And he joins us from spring training, presented by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Since 2010, visit davidpshapirolaw.com. A tad late for the break.
That's okay.
But Sam was worth it.
Yeah.
And we'll have more Daily Gambit. And got to get into the NCAA March Madness. That's a fun time of year. And I think it would be better if the Aztecs were in it. But I'll give you my complaints about that when we continue.
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Scraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play. And the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not
Let's
mean for
explore
that to happen. I did
explore.
not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Scravy, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. Doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. Not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. Never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right, well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Scraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick, so goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break, and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not
Let's
mean for
explore
that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Scravy, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. Doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. Not that bad, though. I still have this side to go.
Here we come, Scraby. We'll be there later this week for our live shows, so look forward to that. Sam getting us caught up while we were chatting. A couple of RBI singles. I think Bryce Johnson had one, and Ty France had one. So the Padres are now leading the Giants 3-1. San Francisco got a run off Jackson Wolf in that 7th inning. Padres are batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. Tony will join us at the conclusion of that. In the meantime, hour into the show, and we really haven't – I haven't really, gone into my harangue about the Aztecs not making the NCAA tournament. And the reason I haven't gone into it is I don't really have one. I feel like I wish they could have made it.
Yeah,
I feel like I can make a case for it and say, come on, man. 2nd place team in the Mountain West Conference versus 11th place team in the ACC. I know SMU has whatever metrics they have. Those metrics don't matter when I'm comparing 2nd place versus 11th. I know the ACC is better. Okay, I'm giving you that. But is it that much better where the 11th place team should be in?
No.
Texas is the 10th place team in the SEC. They're in as well. So those were the two that bothered me the most. I know Miami of Ohio was kind of the last one in, and people were saying, isn't it ironic that we all wanted them in and maybe they kept the Aztecs out? They didn't keep the Aztecs out. The Aztecs were behind both Oklahoma and Auburn also. 2 teams that finished 9th and 12th in the SEC. So they had no respect at all for the Mountain West Conference at all. And all you have to do is look at where Utah State's seated. They're number 9. They couldn't even get in the upper half of the draw, and they won the conference and won the tournament. So there's no respect for the Mountain West. That's what they want. It's like fighting against City Hall. So I don't. And the other part is the Aztecs had every opportunity to make it. They win one game somewhere, beat Troy, beat Baylor, beat New Mexico at the Pit when they were winning that game.
Stop losing the Grand Canyon.
Beat Utah State on the road the first time when they had them. Right. They had so many opportunities, and they had an opportunity the other day. That game was a 1-2 point game there with 5 minutes to go. I wasn't thrilled with a call that gave Utah State a 5-point play.
Yeah, can we talk about this for a second? Because
it took it from a 4-point lead to a 9-point lead. That's a game changer. That literally was the game. Pretty big, yeah. When you're down 4, you're right there. You're down 9, you're like in desperation. So that was big.
Let's stop there for a second.
Go ahead.
I got a major issue
with that.
With not just the call. Yeah. But how they handle these calls. Number one, the guy was not in the act of shooting at all.
Not even close.
So I don't even know how they watched that for 10 minutes or whatever it was and thought, the whole time, he's in the act of shooting. Guy was not in the act of shooting. Everyone could see it. Steve Lapis was like, what is happening here kind of thing. Like,
right.
I really think that if you're going to have replays that are going to change the game like this or video reviews, you need to send it to someone who is not in the arena, who is just locked in a closet somewhere making these calls, because that guy who has to watch this is watching it on like a 10-inch screen on the scorer's table, with a lot of people waiting for him, a lot of people making noise in the stadium. I don't think that he is prepared.
You're missing the number one reason that we shouldn't have that official make the call.
What's that?
Because he was the one who called it wrong in the first place. So he basically has to go look at it.
I didn't even think about that.
Right. He has to go look at it and go, I was wrong in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
You can't do that. Send it to someone like Major League Baseball.
I don't know that you can do
it right.
Look, okay, I know you can do it in baseball because you know why? There's only 15 games. I don't know that you can put enough guys in closets around the country to watch 120 games going on a Saturday. So that you can't do. But I've often, and I know Jesse and I finally see eye to eye on this with the replay. If we have to have replay, and it's clear we do, please just get it right. Don't give me a bunch of reasons why you can't change it. Don't give me a bunch of this, that, and the other. If it's replay, the guy is either safe or he's out. Give me the call. If it's replay, the guy was either in the act of shooting or he wasn't. Give me the call. And that is where right? I mean, you got to say replay's way more frustrating than ever before when they just missed the call. Like, we just took 10 minutes to get it wrong again. That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. And that whole thing, like, it drives me nuts that we could all sit there, see the guy has not even attempted to make a shot yet, and they're like, yeah, he's in the act of shooting. I'm not. Am I seeing the wrong thing? Like, you're trying to tell me I'm crazy.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I get that. I'm a little crazy, but I lost my mind. I was like, how? And then you give them the 9-point lead.
It was a 9-point game when the Aztecs got the ball back.
Like, it wasn't just a shot with 14 minutes left in the first half. It was a shot that gave Utah State the win.
With 5 minutes to go, because that changes everything. Now you're down 9. You got to start chucking up threes.
And with all that
said,
I don't think that the Aztecs deserve to go to the tournament.
They didn't seem like they deserved it. That's the bottom line, and that's why I can't harangue too much. I would have loved to have seen them get in, but I don't even know that they wanted to get in that badly.
I'm sure they would have loved to play, but
I hate to say it like this, but as soon as the NIT became available, they were like, we're out.
Yeah, they did turn that down pretty quick.
they didn't think about that too long.
I think the New Mexico team, they took the NIT. They're number 1 seed.
Colorado State's in, New Mexico's in, a bunch of teams from the Mountain West.
So what does that say about us? Does that say where we think we're too good for the NIT now?
There's a bunch of reasons why you don't go to the NIT, not the least of which, as I understand it, the school has to pay for you to be in the NIT. And who wants to pay to play in a second-rate tournament that no longer draws the top teams?
Wait, you have to pay your own way?
Yes. I'm almost positive.
That's ridiculous.
If I'm wrong, Ziegler will correct me, but I'm almost positive you have to pay your own freight, your own travel. And the Aztecs would have to pay to rent an arena because they don't have Viejas available.
Oh,
the
that's
NCAA
right.
Tournaments here.
I did read that. That would,
so
that's another issue.
There's a lot of reasons why you don't want to be in the NIT. I think the biggest one is that of the 4 or 5 major conferences, there's only like 3 teams in there. Teams don't really want to play in it. It's going the way, the NIT is slowly but surely going the way of the unnecessary college bowl game. Everybody would rather pick up and start going and looking around and recreating their team for next year.
So is it like the Gasparilla Bowl?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. No, you're right. That's what it is. So do you want to go to the Gasparilla Bowl and spend money, or do you want to start getting your team to figure out what you're going to do next year? Because that's the big puzzle now. Who are you going to lose? Who are you going to bring in? Where are you going to get this guy? Where are you going to get that guy? Who's going to go there? All of that.
They also
that's what they want to do. And I can't say that they made the wrong decision there.
They also came out of that tournament the walking wounded.
That's part of it as well. All right, we'll do the Daily Gambit when we come back. Gwynn and Chris is underway. We're actually more than underway. We're into hour number 2 of the show already. Tony should be with us a little later on, and we'll take a look at some of the games on the slate when we get back.
Enjoy more.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. you idiot. Right. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything?
Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
All righty. Did everybody spend their morning filling out their brackets? Scraby, even looked at a bracket yet?
Nope.
Don't even know who's in the tournament, do
People
you?
keep asking. No. People keep asking me, are you guys going to put one up? And personally, it's so stressful and we're leaving.
We've done it before, and people, throw their picks in. And what's fun is like the first weekend we add it all up, and then at the end we're like, everybody forgets about it, kind of.
It does.
The brackets are what they are. They're hard to pick. They really are. There's always one person out there who picks the favorite, like in every game, and then tells you how smart they are. You're like, no, you're not smart. You just pick the favorite every
the
game.
number one seed.
Yeah, that's not any big
And
deal.
then you got the people that match up the mascots.
Last year, Jay Billis picked all 4 number 1 seeds, and I was like really critical of him for doing that until all 4 number 1 seeds made it to the Final Four. So,
Yeah, he kind of knows what he's
yeah, he's
doing.
pretty good at it. The odds for the NCAA tournament, Duke is the odds-on favorite right now through plus 350. Michigan is second choice, plus 370. Arizona plus 380. So those three have kind of cleared the field. Florida's in there, the defending champs, plus 750. All the way down to 19 teams that are in the tournament are plus 200,000. Included there is my new favorite team in college basketball, since the Aztecs are not in the tournament. Frank Marchese's Hofstra Pride. Now, here's why I like them. Number one, they're plus 200,000.
I know why you like
Number
them.
two, they're playing Alabama in the first round. And I don't know, did you?
It's a big 5 story, but
Okay,
go ahead.
all right,
Go
well,
ahead.
I'll touch on it. Alabama, as what else is new, has a major issue going into the start of the NCAA tournament. And I know you're going to talk about it in the Big Five, so we'll wait.
You can preview it for sure.
Well, they have one of their players got arrested.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, how much do you want to bet right now? Anything that Nate Oates is already working on his excuse to make sure that kid's in the lineup on Thursday.
I don't
or
want to bet
Friday.
anything because that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
You know, when I saw this story, I immediately put in the Big Five knowing it was.
We all know that.
Because Alabama has had some pretty serious.
A bunch of nefarious things. Brandon Miller Brandon Miller was almost involved in a murder.
I know.
And he played against the Aztecs in that tournament in 2023.
And who won?
Well, look, Nate Oates is not a legit guy in my mind, but this is what we expect him to do, and I'm sure he will do it. So
all
I say go Hofstra.
Yeah, I say go Hofstra too, and all I can say is this kid better not play.
He's playing.
We're
He'll
going to
play.
talk about more in the Big
All
Five.
right, we will. All right, let's get to some picks for tonight. There's no NCAA tournament tonight, but there is World Baseball Classic activity.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Before we get into it, Chris, Jeff Passan's on TV. If there's someone who leads the charge of anger against bad pitches that are called strikes, it's Jeff Passan. As soon as that game happened last night, oh, this is a shame that it ends this way. Jeff Passan is the guy who's leading everyone with the pitchfork into battle.
Shameful mistake.
He's always doing that stuff.
Who was the ump? Corey somebody. He's not even
Corey. I don't remember
not even a big time Major League ump.
I do love it how everybody goes to these umpire scorecards. Just like, here's my proof. We don't need to review anything, right? Because it was Thursday.
No, the weekend, I don't really even remember what we did, but I know that tonight Venezuela is favored by 1.5 over Italy. Aaron Nola going to start for Team Italia. They are undefeated in the tournament. Venezuela's played very well. They lost the one game Venezuela did to the DR. I'm of Italian descent, Scrabe. Enough so that I might have been able to make the Italian team. I don't know what the qualifications are, but I know my great-great-grandfather was from Italy somewhere, so I'll take Team Italia.
All right. I mean, they
with?
are kind of like the team of destiny.
A little bit. It seems like Venezuela has better players overall, like Acuna, etc. But Italy's been Vinny Pasquantino.
I'm going to go with Italy. They're playing.
You're also going with
They're
Italy.
playing on fire right now.
All right, here's the over-under, 10 runs.
Wow.
And you saw the game last night. Nobody scored anything. What do you think about this? 10 runs for this game.
I'm going to go over.
You're going to say over. Okay, I'll say under. Most of these games are very tight, but you never know.
Lots of home runs being hit in totality of the World Baseball Classic.
3 of them last night, as it turned out. 1 for them and 2 for us. Houston Rockets, 1.5 over the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers got a big win the other day over Denver. Great comeback. Austin Reeves pulled it out, sent it into overtime. Tie game. Luka Doncic pushes off so obviously, takes his off arm, like not even SGA, where SGA gives you a little nudge.
Yeah.
Luka just went
extension.
The guy flew out of bounds. And then Luka hit the winning shot. It's hard to blame Luka. If they're not going to call it, do it. But the NBA has got to start calling some of those things. Give the defense at least a somewhat of a chance to guard you. I know the cry is going up from fans everywhere that, the NBA is getting unwatchable. And the reason they say it's unwatchable is because they let these offensive guys get away with anything they want. Lakers are currently a half game up on Houston for the number 3 seed. Teams are playing each other tonight. It's a big game. I'm going to take Houston, but they're at home. That's the only reason. What do you got, Scrabe?
Did the Lakers play yesterday?
No, Saturday, I think.
I'm going to go.
Lakers have won 5 straight.
Lakers.
You
just sold me.
Kawhi Leonard's ankle hurts tonight. I'm sure it'll be fine tomorrow, but he's not playing tonight. Clippers will, with Kawhi, will host the Spurs. Spurs are 8.5-point favorite with Kawhi out of the lineup. Scrabe.
Did you see the video of him the other day when there was like a fight on the court and he goes, "Hey, there's a fight"?
Kawhi?
Yeah, it was great.
I'm surprised he noticed it. Kawhi doesn't really notice.
He doesn't notice anything.
He doesn't know anything. He is so tunnel visioned out there.
He really is. It's amazing.
Is.
I need to understand his way of focus.
It's like Brian Dutcher said when he comes to work out at Viejas, and he does from time to time, he says nobody talks to him. I mean, you can't, when he's done, then he's all right. But when he's in the middle of his workout,
do not
forget about it. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I will go with the Clippers.
8.5.
I'm gonna go Clippers.
Clips. All right, I'll give me the Spurs. On the road's tough, but Luka -5 over Kevin Durant in the Laker game. I got to go with Luka. He gets 40 points every time, and now that they're letting him push off, forget about it. 45.
He had 51 against the Bulls.
Yes, he did. I watched the game, of course. The Bulls didn't guard him once, but that's kind of the NBA way now. Nobody guards anyone. Just come down the floor and shoot.
I'm going to go KD.
KD at +5. Wemby -10 versus LeBron. In points, rebounds, and assists. They're playing in separate games. Wemby -10 versus LeBron. You're first. Points, rebounds, and assists.
I got to go Wemby. He's a freak.
Wemby's been doing the job. I'm going to go with Wemby as well. I will say this. I am to the point now I root openly against LeBron. Tony's caught on to this.
Everybody has.
Right. I root openly against him, but time after time, he still keeps coming through. Even if you don't like this guy, you have to respect the fact that at some point in the game, he'll make 4 or 5 plays that'll help you win the game. He's still doing that. NHL, the Avs, 1.5 over the Penguins. Remember when the Avs were like 35-1?
I do.
Yeah, they're not anymore. They're 42-18. They're 44-12.
So still very good.
They're very good, but they're not. They're not threatening any kind of record as they were earlier in the season. The Penguins are in second place in their division. I'm going to take the Penguins plus the 1.5 here. Sounds like an overtime game.
I'll go Avs.
You'll take the Avs. Do. And the Kings, who are not in the playoffs right now, they're chasing the final playoff spot. They're a couple of games out, so there's still hope for the Kings. They're 1.5 at the Rangers. The Rangers have the worst record in the Eastern Conference, which is kind of strange. But the Kings got to win this one. But anyway, you're up. Rangers at home.
Kings always do.
You never get the Kings right,
Rangers.
do you? You're going NYR?
Yes.
I'm going to go NYR also. I don't have faith in the Kings. The biggest story in hockey that nobody's talked about, or maybe they have in hockey circles, but I haven't seen a lot about it. The 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers, are in last place in their division. They're a little over 500. That's because everyone's over 500, the way the overtime loss rule works. But they're a last place team. That is pretty crazy for a 2-time defending champion.
Similar roster?
I guess. I got to be honest with you. They don't have the whole Florida Panther roster memorized these days, but
you would know if someone massive left.
Right. It's a little surprising, I think, to most people that they are where they are. I'll tell you another thing that's surprising. Don't look now. First place in the Pacific Division of the NHL, the Quacks.
Oh, I love it.
Quacks are on top.
Quack.
Quack attack. Quack attack.
Have you seen? I know we've talked about this before. You've seen the Mighty Ducks, right? The movie.
Yeah, but once. I've not seen it a million times.
You need to rewatch it.
Okay,
it's amazing.
Yeah. What is the play? The Flying Wedge or something?
The Flying V.
Just like the
Ducks. Okay, come on.
Right.
And then you have in that one movie.
Who's the coach of that team? Emilio Estevez?
Yes. Yeah. Gordon Bombay. Are you kidding me?
Of course, Gordon Bombay. Yes. All right.
Gordon Bombay was he actually had to coach the team, I believe, because he got a DUI and he crashed his car, and so that was part of
that was his
that was part of the plea deal in the movie.
That's funny.
That he had to go coach the team. He was a high powered lawyer, I believe.
He was, huh?
I guess so in the movie. Anyway,
and you did not even tune into the Academy Awards?
No.
Let's even give them a glance. I know they started at the same time as the game.
Yes, they did.
The baseball.
Yes, they were going up against the powerhouse of Team USA.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a second. And it has nothing to do with me being too high and mighty. It just doesn't interest me
Doesn't
anymore.
interest you?
Not anymore.
Well, you also don't see any of the movies.
That's true, too.
You don't put yourself on that level of movie.
You're right.
You like Transformers. You like...
No, I don't like Transformers.
You like Spider-Man.
I do like
Saga 9.
And those movies should be up for Best Picture.
Well, there was one movie that was kind of like that was up for Best Picture. F1 was.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, that was nominated, but it didn't win, of course.
Brad Pitt was awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
The whole story was great.
I know. Well, it didn't quite win out. One Battle After Another, if you're wondering, was the Best Picture. I will say this. He's been retired for a long time now, but Michael Jordan was named Best Actor last night.
Wow, he finally gotten that? Oh, is this Michael B. Jordan?
It was Michael B. Jordan, but it was Michael Jordan was Best Actor.
One Battle After Another. I am not familiar with this movie.
Well, you would enjoy it because there's a lot of shoot 'em up and killing, but it's a pretty good story. Leonardo DiCaprio is he's a great actor. I got to tell you, the guy's good. Sean Penn is in it, and he is phenomenal. He won the Academy Award. Sean Penn did in a supporting role last night. It does crack me up that Sean Penn is the same guy that was Jeff Spicoli
It's
in
weird.
Ridgemont High.
It's weird.
I mean, Sean Penn has become this Sean Penn. It's crazy.
It's a far trip.
It's a far trip indeed.
I have some breaking news on
Any good?
Alabama's player.
All right, give it to us when we come back.
Okay.
We'll give you this. We didn't really give you the story.
No, now we might have to change the Big Five topic and all this other stuff.
All right, Alabama's player got arrested. What's the latest? We'll find out. Gwynn and Chris continuing.
From the first pitch.
9:39 is the time. Crisello? Tony Gwynn Jr. should be here soon. I don't know exactly how soon. I don't want to rush him. But the Padres just finished off a 3-1 victory over the San Fran Giants. Walker Buehler was really good. Walker Buehler got it done. 5 innings, no runs. Pitched out of a couple little jams. Luis Campusano got him out of one jam by cutting down a stolen base threat with 2 on in the 5th. And so the Padres are 12-11. And all is right for now.
I like it.
Walker Buehler is, I mean, Sammy basically said it, but how can you look any other ways? Walker Buehler is almost guaranteed, the way I see it, to be in the starting rotation on opening day. He has to be. There's nobody else that has even been close to him vying for those, outside spots. And if you just tuned in, Joe Musgrove is indeed officially going to open the season on the injured list. No timetable, but he's not going to be in the rotation to start.
Yeah.
So to me, it means you've got Pivetta, King, Vasquez, and Buehler. There's no other. Anyway, that's what I think.
Well, it's why they always say you can never have enough pitching, right, Chris?
Yeah, right. Too bad none of the other pitching has been very good.
Go back to the first segment.
Yeah, go back to the second segment. Second segment. We went through that. All right. We got. What are we doing here?
Oh, we're gonna do the breaking news.
Oh, that's
the
right.
Alabama basketball player.
Okay, let me give the story, and then you give the breaking news. Alabama, and of course, this happens under the backdrop of Nate Oates, who, same guy who helped fight, for his player earlier this season.
His professional player that came back to college.
That came back, and of course, he let him on the team. And they found a judge who had gone to the University of Alabama who ruled in his favor.
They did.
They finally found one who hadn't gone to Alabama, who finally took him off the team. And you're right. The Brandon Miller thing was a few years ago, but I don't know that he was ever found guilty of anything, but he certainly was found guilty of being in the wrong place at the wrong time where a murder took place. But famously, Nate Oates always seems to look the other way, and that's kind of what he's known for. So anyway, their second leading scorer, Aiden Holloway, was arrested today and faces 2 felony drug charges. Scraby, you'll get me up to date on all this, but a pound of marijuana and paraphernalia and cash, first-degree possession of marijuana not for personal use. So that's a Class C felony. Failure to affix a tax stamp. I'm not quite sure what that all means.
I looked into it. It's an Alabama law.
Okay. So anyway, he faces $15,000 and up to 10 years in jail.
Yes.
Alabama issued a statement saying they are working to gather more information, but he has been removed from campus pending further investigation. Of course, most of us in the world of sports say, well, it's okay. Nate Oates will figure out a way to get him on the team and get him in uniform for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
However,
yes,
the breaking news may change that.
According to Pete Thamel of ESPN, Alabama's Aiden Holloway is no longer with the team as the university announced the star guard has been, quote, removed from campus in the wake of his drug arrest Monday morning.
No longer with the team. I still am going to hold out hope for Nate Oates that he can find another judge somewhere.
I don't think so.
With Alabama ties that can get him active.
The next process for Holloway is he has to go through the school's investigation process, which is conducted outside of the athletic department through Alabama Office of Student Conduct. So he has to get cleared from that, too.
You know that Nate Oates is just livid right now. Like, I can't believe you're not supporting them.
I can't believe they actually arrested you for having a pound of weed.
Not him. He's upset at the people that have taken him away from the program.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Nate Oates is under the Nate Oates' thing is you're innocent until proven guilty, and this man hasn't been proven of anything. And until he is, he's starting, by golly.
I mean, they did catch him, I guess.
Apparently he's not starting.
They arrested him.
Apparently he's not starting.
He has a felony charge for a pound of marijuana.
It hasn't stopped Nate Oates before.
It hasn't, but I think it's an uphill battle for him on this one.
Seems like it's an uphill battle, but I never count Nate out.
Man, Alabama doing the right thing? Is this when pigs fly, Chris?
I don't know. Look,
I saw a pig just fly by.
I was going to say something else, but I
About me?
don't know how to quite say it. Well, you know where pigs fly out of.
Oh, yes. Someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good news for you, Frank Marchese and Hofstra. They play the Holloway-less Alabama in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Unless Nate Oates can figure something out, and you know darn well he's trying. Here's the thing, Scraby. I don't think the guy should play. Obviously, in any right world, you would say, hey, we got to figure, we can't put this guy in the lineup. I want him to be in the lineup for one reason only, because I want to hear Nate Oates' explanation for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear how he talks his way around it.
Well, he's a good kid, and
he'll find a way.
He just got caught up at the wrong time. Wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But he's a good kid.
Traffic, and then we got to get to PPP. Oh, Padre Pen Pals. Okay, let's go.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. If you're heading down the 5, you need to take South 805 or the 5 split. Well, it's up to you because we got crashes on both. Southbound 805 just past La Jolla Village Drive, accident middle lanes, and southbound 5 accident middle lanes right before Balboa Garnett exits. So, tough times on both those roads. We also got eastbound 8 right around Lake Murray, collision involving a couple vehicles not showing if lanes are blocked. We still have crash blocking the 2 left lanes on southbound 67 right before Bradley. San Diego drivers, keep moving with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their expert technicians help keep your vehicle and everyone in it safe and road ready. Stay in your car, no appointment needed. Save at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's time to ask the experts, Padres fans.
I was hoping maybe you can bring a little insight into it.
Write us, tweet us, Facebook us, send a carrier pigeon for Chris. He thinks they're cute. Aww. Padres Pen Pals begins.
Hurt the pelota big time.
Now on 97.3 The Fan.
And if you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. We have limited time, so let's get right into it. First one, Chris, you're up. I heard you guys talking about Jace Bowen last week and whether or not he has done enough to make the opening day roster. But he now has 3 homers this spring. He's stolen 5 bases, has an OPS over 900 for most of the spring. I do like Bryce Johnson, and I think he should start the season on the opening day roster. But if you look, Johnson has been caught stealing 3 times and has only successfully stolen 1 base while not hitting for as much power as Bowen. Chris, how close do you think this last spot on the roster actually is?
Not very. But I think Chase Bowen has put himself in the position, and everybody we've talked to, right?
Yes.
This is not my opinion so much as what everybody's thinking, that he's put himself in position to be one of the first men up should something happen. Everything you read about this guy's a freak of nature. Yeah. He's an athlete through and through. I haven't really seen him. I saw one photo of him. I haven't seen him actually playing yet. He's built like a house. So, I mean, this guy is, he's fast, obviously he's strong, hit the ball, up over the grassy knoll last week. So he's got everybody's attention. That's the most he could ask for. But when Craig Stammen says, we still need to teach him some of the nuances of the game of baseball, he's more of an athlete now. That tells me that he needs some seasoning.
Polishing.
And I think he'll get that. And I think Bryce Johnson will get that final spot. But Chase Bowen, don't forget that name. Don't forget that name.
Yeah. How close do you think it actually is? Chris is right. I don't think it's that close because Bryce Johnson has the major league experience, as Chris just mentioned. And I forgot Craig Stammen said that. He's more of an athlete than a baseball player. The fact that we are now talking about Jace Bowen this deep into spring training, and we have been talking about him, shows me that he's doing something right. And like you said, Chris, he's probably one of the first few up if they need someone. But yes, Bryce Johnson will most likely have that opening day spot, in my opinion. Luis Campusano, we're back to him, Chris. He's not hitting better, and I'm wondering why the Padres continued to keep this guy in the team, considering we already know what we're getting. I'm up first. Would you make a hard pivot now to address the backup catcher situation? I think so.
You're giving up. You're pulling the plug.
I can't go into a season with a guy you just know can't hit for whatever reason. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. He literally did not have a major league hit last year, and part of that's not his fault. But you've seen what he could give you over the past 4 years. You came into this year thinking, hey, well, why not give him another chance? I am hard pivoting right now and finding someone who can give me at least 220 in the batter's box, Chris. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. There you go, Chris.
I'm looking at a guy right here who plays catcher. He's got 2 home runs this spring. He's got 7 RBIs. He has 12 hits. He has 4 doubles. He has a 1227 OPS. He used to play for the Padres.
Is it Brett Sullivan?
Yes, it's Brett Sullivan. He's not going to make the Rockies most likely because they have 2 young guys.
Trade for him right now. You can get him for cheap.
I'm just throwing it out there to, make everybody sweat. But see, now here's where I'm going to flip-flop what I said earlier. And, spring numbers are just spring numbers. They're committed to Campusano, so I got to go a month and then I'll decide. But and before I address it, though, I want to say it's a risk because if he goes 0 for 20, that's 20 at-bats that somebody else could have had.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is he just mentally messed up to where he just can't, get the job done at the big league level?
No idea. It's the strangest thing.
It is.
But you're going to say you have to give him a month.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Because Kayla says, who else are we going to put as a backup catcher, Scrapes? I get it. This is
I just gave you one. Brett Sullivan right there.
But he's
been there
no longer
before,
on the
and he's
roster.
crushing the ball.
He is crushing the ball. I knew this was a bad thing going into it just because of the multiple years he has already been given to show that he can be even the backup catcher on this team.
I'm not arguing with you.
I get what you're saying, and you are correct. They are going into this season with Luis
I'm giving
Campusano.
you the answer that is what's going to happen.
Yes.
So it's, when my opinion doesn't matter a whole lot.
Yeah.
I have been a big fan of Campusano the whole time. You know how big I thought he was going to be on the All-Stars last year.
Well, he did
It
make
made me
the
look
All-Stars.
terrible.
The AAA All-Stars.
He made me
it.
look terrible.
All right, next one. I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and they are one of those big market snob type of fans. They are a Yankees fan. Ugh. And they think the Padres are going to move from San Diego as soon as they can. Why do people think San Diego isn't a place for pro sports, Chris? Basically, this person was very upset that people keep trying to move teams out of San Diego without asking the San Diegans if we want that team gone.
So what's the question? Sorry. I didn't quite,
why do people think San Diego isn't a place for pro sports?
Rockets? Clippers?
I kind of have a feeling you're going this direction.
Chargers?
Chargers.
We've lost 2 basketball teams. We've lost 1 NFL team.
The Gulls left at some point, too.
The Gulls have come and gone 6 or 7 times. My thinking on this. I hate the fact that we are kind of thought of in this manner, but we deserve it.
Yeah.
We flat out deserve it. Now, we have an excuse why we lost everybody. We had Donald Sterling with the Clippers. I mean, who would support that guy? We had the Spanoses. Who would support them? Well, I don't know, but we should have supported them more than we did because I'd sure like to have those teams around. And by now, maybe we'd have different ownership. Who knows? It bothers the hell out of me.
Me too.
But, this is the answer to the question, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
and the muckety mucks, or as Nick Canepa calls them. What does he call them? Oh, God, it's classic.
Muckraker?
No, it's worse.
Oh.
He doesn't call them the imbeciles who run. What is it?
Are you talking about people in city government?
Yeah.
The jokesters,
No,
the jokers,
it's
the idiots.
It's small time thinking is what he's
Okay.
referring to.
Okay.
The fact that we are just small time thinkers in this town, which has kept us from ever building big stadiums and arenas and, making any progress in those areas. Sorry, Nick Canup, if you're out there, because I love your term that you use. It's right on the tip of my tongue. And
Okay.
I can't think of it.
I gotta say, I read an article this morning from Jennifer Van Grove on the San Diego Union Tribune,
Okay.
and she laid out a really good explanation as to why a owner has to at least stay in San Diego till 2031. But, and I'm not saying they're going to move. I have a feeling that the negotiations with the city and this new owner could see a bunch of, hey, we're going to move this team out of here if you don't give us what we want. I don't like it, Chris. I don't like it. They're not going to move this team, but they might threaten it. They might threaten it to get another deal with the city.
Nickel and dimers? What does Nick Canup
Okay,
call
think about
them?
it in the break.
I love what he calls them. But
Chris versus the fans up next, 833-288-0973. I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
looking up their account number?
Just I searched their name in the account system, and
Gravy, what is wrong with you?
I was like 19.
You'd be better
I
off.
thought it was
You would be
cool.
better. You'd be better off admitting that you wore your underwear inside out. Frankly,
This guy is just searching up people's accounts.
it only happened that one time because I got caught.
How did you get caught?
The account was flagged, and anybody taking a look at it gets logged. And so I got called into the boss's office like 3 days
What
later.
did that come? I'm sorry, I gotta ask. But nobody's supposed to be doing this preview. What did that conversation? How did it go?
Well,
why were you looking up Paris Hilton? Is that who it was?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my!
I can neither confirm. That's really funny, Chris, that you just yelled out that name out of all names.
No.
But I walked in. I got called into the office, and I sat
Oh my
down.
gosh.
And all my boss, I loved her. She was great. Her name was Sharon. Amazing boss. She just slid the piece of paper in front of me.
You knew
Said,
what time
"Did you
it was.
visit this account?" And I looked. Yeah. She was like, "We're gonna have to write you up for this, and if you do it again, we're gonna have to fire you." And I said, "I'll never do it again." And I got out of there as soon as possible. I took everything, but it was not good. Not good.
Just curiosity, huh? He's like, I wonder how much they have in their account.
Yeah. I mean, before I got caught, I did look up athletes. And,
Oh my God! I'm so glad you're sitting in this seat now.
Yes, I'm so happy you're not doing any
bank.
job that can be dangerous to people's futures.
this was in the first year that I was there. I learned my lesson
As
thoroughly.
Chris, as I said, as soon as they walked in, they was like,
Yeah,
that's
that
our
window.
guy right there.
That's our window.
We're gonna take him down.
Yep.
Just lucky I didn't get caught for like. I can't even say. I'll tell you guys off break whose account I saw
It's
and how
diabolical.
much money they had sitting in their checking account.
And this was how long ago, too, by the way?
Ooh, 2009, 10. Way before I became a good person.
Didn't Bank America end up getting in trouble, or was that it was one of those banks got in trouble?
all of them get in trouble
Yeah.
for selling information, but
I heard folks like you.
I wasn't selling any information. I was just wanting to see what was going
Just
on.
curious.
I didn't check their account activity,
You
which I
just
could
check-
have been like, oh, they bought this here. I'm going to go up there. You know, I'm not that creepy.
Well, that's stock.
Oh yeah, you're not that bad.
I'm not that creepy.
This is amazing, by the way. We're supposed to be doing.
How are we supposed to do baseball picks under
I
these
don't think we can
circumstances?
anymore. I think we gotta push it. You guys never did it? Well, I mean,
No, Scrape. We didn't. We didn't do it.
Really?
okay.
Like you work at a bank, you're looking at people's account information? That's unbelievable.
It only happened for a little bit, and then I got in
Only
trouble.
for a little bit.
I can't stop laughing at this because it is quite hilarious, Scrape.
But you were saying that I may have gotten robbed or whatever. I actually did get robbed when I worked in San Francisco, and they're called quick change artists.
how long did you work in the banking industry?
8 years. I was a teller supervisor when I finished. I was also the merchant teller, which took in around $150,000 in cash a day. Guess what? Always balanced at the end of the day.
Yeah, I bet.
But there was a guy who walked in. He had about $5,000 in hundreds, and he handed it to me. He said, "Can I get 50s for these?" And I said, it's pretty annoying that he wants
$5,000 in hundreds.
In hundreds, and he wanted $5,000 in 50s. He just wanted 50s instead of hundreds. So I had to go get it from the vault. I come back. I'm starting to count it out, and then he's like starting to ask me questions as I'm counting it out.
He's trying to
what
did I tell you, Chris? This is what I'm talking about.
That window right there.
Hey, this guy was so good that no one saw it coming. But so when I started getting mad at him because I counted out the 50s, he goes, "What are you doing? I asked for 20s." And I'm like, "What? You did not ask for 20s. You asked for 50s, bro." Yeah. I had to go to the vault to get those 50s. And as I was getting all mad and talking to my boss, he took the cash off the counter and put it into this folder that he had on the thing that
the original 5,000 in hundreds.
Yeah, well, he kept going like that, and then I was so mad, I just grabbed it and I threw it in my drawer. And then he was like, "You know what? I'm out of here." And he walked out. And then at the end of the day, $3,000.
He got an extra 3 on you.
$3,000. Yeah, he got $3,000.
The thing about criminals like that, they can sniff out a mark really easy.
I'm not a mark.
You are 1,000%.
I was actually the bank's
dog. They got you for 3 extra.
And that's the only time in my 8 years that I ever had anything happen like that.
I'm sure there are people who've been there 8 years that never had 0 taken.
Scrape, I got a 20 here. Can I get 5 5s, please?
I hate you guys.
Let's get to
that was one of the worst moments of my life, but you know what? It taught me a lot. Never trust anyone ever again.
You know what? You definitely have learned because you don't trust very many people.
I don't trust anyone
anymore.
I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
Looking up their account number?
Just I searched their name in the account system.
Chris versus the fans? Forgot to promote that, Scrape.
I did.
I did too.
No, I promoted it.
Oh, you did? I didn't hear you.
You are sitting right there.
Shocking that I wouldn't have heard something you said.
Interesting.
That never happens.
Yeah, well, of course.
Crisello, Scraby, we're in the Bill House studios. We know how. A couple of hours into the program, Padres over the Gigantes today, 3-1. Walker Buehler, big story, 5 shutties. And in my mind anyway, I'm maybe overreacting, but he's got to be closing in on getting a spot in the starting rotation. I
think it's there.
If only because no one else has done anything to earn it themselves.
I know. I see people out there that are like, this is not that big of a deal. German Marquez for the 5th spot. Have you seen what German Marquez has been doing? I'm not saying that he's not going to be a suitable pitcher for this year, but he doesn't give me the best confidence going into the season.
He's had 3 outings. 2 of them have been quite poor. All right. So that's the baseball. Obviously, the NCAA brackets are out. San Diego State is not in them. Talked about this earlier, but I want to yell and scream from the top of my lungs, but they don't feel like they kind of deserve to make it this year. I wish they had.
I think it's fair.
And I don't understand, I don't get the metrics that put an 11th place team from the ACC in, but that's what the metrics do. So, and they've always done it. So this isn't that shocking to me. Congrats, by the way. We talk about the women's basketball. How about UC San Diego women? 2nd year in a row into the NCAA tournament. Good for them.
Only team in San Diego to make it.
Yeah, they're the only ones. The Aztec women are going to be playing in it's not the WNIT now. They call it the WBI, the Women's Basketball Invitational. It's actually a better tournament than the WNIT is kind of going away, similar to how the regular NIT is starting to fade.
Was the NIT originally the championship thing? That was the tournament
in the 1930s, and I know you think I was there.
You were.
The NIT was more prestigious than the NCAA. I don't know how that was, but it was true. And City College of New York won both of them once.
Wow.
How that happened, I don't know.
I do know that things happened in the 30s.
Right. I do know that City College of New York, the entire basketball program was wiped out forever because of a what? gambling scandal.
Wow.
Back in the days. So the gambling's been going on for a while, Scrape. World Baseball Classic. What would have Mason Miller thrown to Fernando Tatis Jr.? We'll never know. They never had to face each other at the end of the game last night as the Americans beat the Dominicans 2-1. Mason Miller apparently will be available. No.
Okay, so this was confusing.
This is confusing. I'm reading it. Craig Stammen is going to have a say as to whether or not Mason Miller will be available to pitch an inning tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been decided yet.
Well, John Heyman's reporting two different things. That's why I'm saying it's a little confusing. John Heyman originally reported Team USA closer Mason Miller is thought likely to be unavailable for the finals.
Okay.
And then 20 minutes later, update. Word now is David Bednar is likely out due to pitch count.
He pitched yesterday,
but
too.
Miller may still be available.
Said Craig Stammen, not ruled out, not decided. How we do with every pitcher, we evaluate them after their outing, see how they feel, then calculate when their next outing's going to be. So he is in the same boat, he being Mason Miller.
I mean, he's going to get a day off in between. What's the problem?
I don't know.
Okay, good. At
To
least we're on the
me,
same
I
page
would
about
pitch,
that.
but they're very careful with these guys. There's one NFL note that we didn't even mention today, because it doesn't mean a lot, but it's a name. Justin Fields has been traded by the Jets to the Chiefs.
It's a good move for Justin Fields.
Anything to get out of New York is probably good.
And you go to a team that might actually teach you something.
Well, if you're going to carry a clipboard, you might as well have a chance to go to the Super Bowl with it.
Yeah, you might as well be right behind Patrick
By the way,
Mahomes.
do backups even carry clipboards anymore? I don't think they
so.
do.
No.
That was back in the day.
They do. That's why, the glorified clipboard guy.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen.
There was
anymore.
another signing in the NFL that I think is a great signing.
Oh, yes. 49ers get Christian Kirk, wide receiver from Houston and Jacksonville.
Love this signing.
You like this one?
For the $6 million, Christian Kirk is a solid veteran wide receiver.
He goes along with the likes of Mike Evans, Juwan Jennings. Get rid of that guy, Scraby. He's just a wacko, weirdo idiot.
I love him.
On here? Get rid of him.
When he's a Dolphin, you're going to love him too.
He's not going to be a Dolphin. Brandon Ayuk, why is he still on the roster?
They're trying to make a trade for him and stuff, but I think they're trying to just make it as hard as possible on him.
All right, let's do Chris versus the fans. People are waiting to play ball.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. You are playing for a qualification. I just need to get there. There it is. You'll be qualified for a chance to win our grand prize, a 2-night stay at Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, and a $150 resort credit. March is here, and Fontainebleau, Las Vegas is the place to catch every game. High-energy watch parties with expansive screens, great food and drinks, exclusive room rates, plus the pools and day club are open. Book your stay today at FontainebleauLasVegas.com right now. The rules: you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win if you're a first-time player.
Sorry, I'm writing a note. Player.
Let us know before you get into it.
I'm doing dealings over here.
Today.
Dealings going on.
Yes, you can wait till commercial break for your dealings.
Don't have time. I have to get it done now.
Commercial break. All right, let's get to our first contestant today. Give me a number, 1 through 6.
4.
4 is
I usually say
going
6, but not today.
Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys.
Welcome in.
You ready to play, Steve?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. How tall is a regulation basketball hoop?
10 feet.
10 feet is correct.
Ding, ding.
All right. I wonder how they decided upon that.
That's a, fair question.
I actually know why they do dribbling, because originally you could only move unless you passed the ball. And so then Yale started to pass it to themselves. And then they said dribbling is now what we're going to be doing in this game.
What a
That was a
riveting
great
story that was.
It was. All right, here we go. Question number 2 for all you people out there.
Why?
probably the only place they could hang a peach basket was 10 feet high.
That's going to be my guess, is that the first peach basket, they just hung it off the side of the gymnasium, and that just happened to be
10 feet, and there it is.
Yeah, that very well could be the answer.
All right, Steve, what team did LeBron James play for when he scored his career high?
That's exactly what happened, by the way. Historical accident.
Sorry, Steve.
Historical accident. The peach basket was on a railing and just so happened to be 10 feet high, and that's what they went with.
I love that so
There you
much. The one of the main rules of the game came from just whatever. We're going to put it
Like
here.
if that railing would have been up 14 feet, basketball would be a whole lot different game.
That'd be crazy.
Or,
All right,
or
Steve.
7 feet.
That
be
is
totally
true.
different.
All right, Steve. Sorry about that. What team was LeBron James playing for when he scored his career high 61 points in a game?
The Lakers.
Lakers. Ooh, I think it was the Heat.
Don't stay there.
I say the Heat because I wouldn't have known, but Bam
was the
Adebayo just broke his record with the 83.
I didn't even think about that. Sorry, Steve.
Sorry, Steve.
It was
Thanks
the
for
Heat.
playing.
It was 2014, I believe.
Okay.
All right. Back to the drawing board.
Here we go.
Let's go to Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Kev.
Hello there.
Good to talk to you, sir.
First time player. All right. Here we go. Question number 2.
We're so happy.
Clap your hands.
Thanks, Pharrell, whatever your
Williams.
name is. Yeah, Pharrell Williams.
I love that song. All right, Kevin. What NBA team won 73 games in the 2015-2016 season?
Self-serving question. If I ever heard one.
Let's go with the Warriors.
The Warriors is
Kevin.
correct.
Nice.
They end up losing the championship
Did
because
not
they
win at
tried
all.
to get that record.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, here we go. Question number 3.
Oh, this is for the title. That's
This
right.
is for the
Yeah,
title.
that was it. Okay.
Which country dominated the medal table at the Winter Olympics, recording 18 golds and 41 total medals
This year?
this year?
Oh, come on, Kev. Did you watch any of the Winter Olympics?
Not a lot. Let's go with Norway.
Norway is correct.
That's a winner.
Stay there, Kevin.
That sports powerhouse, Norway.
Winter sports powerhouse.
They are, man.
They had a lot going on. Remember that guy who admitted they cheated on his girlfriend and was telling the world about it? And she goes, "Hey, this is not the way to get me back."
There are almost as many people. I would say San Diego and Orange County, put them together, more people than in Norway.
Probably.
Yeah, Norway's got 5.5 million.
And
So
they-
we get
wow.
we got 3. I'm sure Orange County's got 3. So that's 6.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Chris.
That's crazy, but in Norway they can ski like the Dickens.
They invented skiing.
Good for you, Kev. Congrats. More Gwynn and Chris heading your way. We got to look at the brackets, Grabe. When am I going to get to break out my brackets?
Next.
Thank you.
Are your investments?
And Chris versus the fans today. Tony should be with us soon. World Baseball Classic tonight, Italy. Venezuela winner plays the U.S. tomorrow for world domination. Sport of baseball.
I just got these new headphones, Chris.
Yeah, you got to get rid of them.
I hate them.
They look terrible, and they're just throwing you off. I don't like who thought that going over the ear and around the back and down and no, too much. Oh, goodness.
Excuse me. Yes, I need to get that out now. I can talk.
Does that have anything to do with the earphones, that sneeze? Or?
No. It's
if you're allergic to them.
I don't know. It's sometimes around this time, and then during the Scraby show, I start sneezing. But I cannot get these things in my ear. I did not realize they're going to have these little curls behind my ear. So I got to just deal with it. I'll figure it out. But geez, it's been rough.
I'm going to throw them away for you after the show.
It's been rough.
All right, so the NCAA brackets are out. I don't know if everybody's filled one out yet, or are you thinking about it? Most everybody does.
Thinking about it.
Here's a couple of things that I noticed off the top that maybe haven't been talked about. First of all, I don't understand why these teams keep standings in conference play. It doesn't seem to matter. I'm going to give you an example. Purdue... Now, they did win the Big Ten title in the tournament yesterday. Yes. They beat Michigan. So they got a number 2 seed. Iowa State also got a number 2 seed out of the Big 12. They did not win their tournament, though. They were eliminated in the semifinals by Arizona. Iowa State finished 5th in the Big 12 this year, but they're a 2 seed. Purdue finished 7th, and they're a 2 seed. What's the point? Like, there was 6 teams that had better records than Purdue in a conference setting where you're playing home and away and you're traveling the same distance. To me, conference gives a better idea of your abilities. So it's just weird to me. The second place team in the Big Ten this year was Nebraska. They ended up with a 4 seed. But Purdue's a 2 seed with a 7th place finish. So that's weird to me.
It's all weird.
The other thing that's really weird to me is the SMU thing. Nobody is even complaining that SMU is in this tournament. They finished 11th in their conference. Now, I know they're in the ACC. Let me ask you this. Where would SMU finish if you picked them up and put them in the Mountain West? And made them go play at altitude in Laramie and play at altitude at Air Force and play at altitude at Utah State and play at altitude in New Mexico in the pit. How would they do in Vegas? How would they do at Viejas? The thing is everybody says, well, the Aztecs, if they were in the ACC, well, if they were, they'd probably have, quote, better players because they'd be able to recruit to a better conference. So that's part of it. But I don't see how you can guarantee that SMU would just come to the Mountain West and go 18-0. There's no way they're any better than Utah State or the Aztecs for that matter, or New Mexico. But the fact that teams get rewarded for the conference they play in rather than the performance, on the court.
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest argument that I have against all these metrics. Miami of Ohio was simply only put into the tournament because the complaining, the voices around the world of sports would have been too big.
I think they should be in.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but their metrics say they shouldn't.
I know.
And Mark Ziegler did bring up one good point against Miami. He said that they played something like 28 games against quadrant 3 and 4 teams, and they were 27-1. He said almost everybody would be 27-1 against those teams. And that's true if you're a top tier team.
Yes.
So that's his point. I'm glad they're in going 31-1. They play SMU, by the way. You can tell who I'm going to be rooting for. But
SMU, I know.
Yeah, right. Anyway, the tournament goes on without the Aztecs this year. And, we'll see. I mean, Arizona and Duke and Michigan are just a cut above everybody. Florida got hot after a slow start. I remember Florida came here, played in the USD tournament on Christmas, lost to TCU. Now TCU's in this tournament, but Florida didn't look very good at all in December. They look a lot better now. By the way, their coach he's bonkers too. He's not
Florida
to the
coach?
he's not to the Dan Hurley level. He was challenging some fan after a game a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And language. My goodness.
He's a former USF
man.
coach.
Come on, man. Calm down. He also he got himself out of that entanglement down at Florida.
Yeah, because
he was blamed with a whole bunch of
person
stuff.
lied.
Yes, apparently they did. Anyway, the tournament starts tomorrow night with the play-in Wednesday night, and then on we go into the March Madness.
See, I know you're gonna say I know you've said this before, Scraby, but it's really been difficult for me to get into college sports in the last 2 years.
Something's lacking, isn't there?
No, Chris, I can tell you. Well, yes, there is something lacking. It's playing for the sport. It's now playing for how much money can we make. It's playing for how many of these how many of these TV people can line their pockets.
Do you remember the old saying, I want you to go out there, give it the best you can, and let's play for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey.
I still think that's a great thing to say.
But it's been flipped.
It's totally been flipped.
I don't think there's a single player on Duke that plays for Duke. They play for the name on the back because they want to make more money transferring somewhere else next season.
Can you, though? You're
more than Duke? Yeah, right. Maybe Duke's as high as it gets. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Kentucky, according to whoever does these records, Kentucky paid $20 million in NIL money to their team. That's the most of any team.
That's crazy.
And they bought themselves a 7 seed.
Yeah. See, this is the whole world we live in. And it's for some reason, like the quiet part of, hey, we want to do this, but we also want to make a lot of money. They're now screaming. They say we want to do this, but we want to make a lot of money.
Well, San Diego State is, right there with the whole rest of it. I mean, you look at the Aztecs, Guath, and Miles Byrd. I mean, does anybody think they're coming back for another year?
I mean, Guath, did he better himself this year?
I don't think so, but he's still 7 foot tall,
and he still has
Miles Byrd still has freakish talent and ability. Never mind, he shot 2 for 8 the other day and didn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah.
I think every player on the Aztecs, unfortunately, this isn't a dig on them. It's the facts. They all are concerned about their own situation and going where they can be in the best situation / making the most money next year. And, Brian Dutcher, I think, is not saying it out loud. I don't blame him. I mean, he's saying, we're a beat up team. We're, physically. Well, with all due respect to Dutch, Mark Ziegler was reporting 2 months ago that the Aztecs were probably not going to go to the NIT. I don't know how he could have been reporting that if they didn't really make a decision till yesterday.
True.
So, I'm going to at least lean to the fact that they were always kind of thinking of not going to the NIT. And the reason for it, more than any other that I can tell, is because you need all this time to start figuring out what your team's going to look like next year.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you go to the NIT and you play for another 2 weeks, you're 2 weeks behind everybody else. You got to figure out who's leaving, who can you get, how much money you're going to have, how much money you're going to save by who's leaving, who's going to be back in an Aztec uniform next year. It's possible none of them could be. It's possible.
And that's another problem with college sports. If you want me to buy into your team, I need players to be there more than one season.
It used to be that if you had a good season, and see, I still think this was an okay season for the Aztecs. They won 22 games. They finished in second place.
For their standard, it's not good, but yes, it is a good season.
It's not bad. But if you looked at this and said what you would do in the past is what would you do? You'd go, hey, who's coming back? Oh, we got this, we got that, we got that. Hey, we won 22 games. We got all this coming back. We should be good.
Remember, you
can't say that anymore. That's not even a factor. It's not even it doesn't even count.
Sorry, I was going to say this, but you put Guath to bed here in San Diego, and then he ended up coming back. See how excited we were? We just thought it was a foregone conclusion that he was gone.
And he never was healthy, and he never played like Guath, or the one we thought we had. That's fair. And unfortunately, as these players start to make close to or upwards of $1 million, it's time where I think we in the media can be a little more critical of their play.
I agree.
Whereas in the past, I would never take a shot at college athletes. I felt like, you know what? They're not paid. They're amateurs.
Now they're getting millions of dollars.
So
you want your millions of dollars, you also get criticism with those millions of dollars.
Part of me says, yeah, you got to live up to those paychecks. I know BYU fans were not happy because they paid millions and millions to bring guys in, and they finished in 10th place. Now they got a 6th seed, but I don't think that's what they paid for, and a lot of them said so. It's too bad. I'm going to try to forget about it, though, and fill my bracket out and enjoy the March Madness because the games usually are pretty all that.
Games are fine.
But it's the same. But you're right, Scraby, in a lot of ways. It's lost something a lot, actually. Big Five's coming up next. Hopefully Tony's with us soon. Padres.
He did text us. I believe he's supposed to be here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Big Five next.
Okay. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero. Never met a pitch he couldn't swing at. And powerhouse hitter for the Expos and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, oh, yeah, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout. And this is the San Diego Padres locker room here in Cooperstown. Obviously, a couple of jerseys there and hats, gloves, all-star stuff. I think the most interesting thing in this entire display, though, especially this weekend, is a picture in the top corner of Angus Young. He's the guitarist for AC/DC, wearing a Trevor Hoffman uniform, obviously playing Hell's Bells. I know that Trevor went to many AC/DC concerts and was honored by sitting in the front row to watch AC/DC play Hell's Bells in his honor. But there's a picture of Angus Young playing Hell's Bells for Trevor Hoffman wearing the 51 jersey right there. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. 5 segment of the program. That was the worst intro I've ever done. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris.
Hey,
I don't know where that was going. We're at the Bill House Studios. We know how Tony Gwynn Jr. has arrived at the otherwise known as the Tony Gwynn Palace of Peoria. After the Padres beat the Giants today, 3-1. Tony Gwynn Jr., how are you today?
I'm so happy to be in air conditioning right now. I have to say.
Oh, that's
I
right.
gotta look at the weather.
We're coming there Wednesday, and I hear it's 106 potentially.
What?
No, that's not a lie, Scrape.
Yeah.
When you guys show up, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are supposed to be the 3 worst days of the week.
Gosh, you're right.
And I mean, put it this way. Gosh, I wish Jesse was here. He had a number. It hasn't hit 100 here. It's only hit 100 one other time in the history since they've been keeping track of this bad boy this early.
Chris, we're gonna die outside.
You guys better make sure you get the shaded area. Even
That's
if
right.
you get shaded area, it doesn't even matter.
Wednesday, I'm going to be the only one in the building. I'm doing the show from out on the patio on a day off for the Padres, so I will definitely find some shade.
Chris didn't want to drive at night, which I understand.
Wait, time out. You're doing a show by yourself?
Well, you guys can be on it, but I'm just saying Wednesday's a day off for the Friars.
Yes.
I am driving out there Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do the show Wednesday and then drive all night. So I'm going to drive in the morning, and I will be at the facility Wednesday doing the show.
I will say, as I get older,
then Thursday and Friday, Scraby will join me there.
Yes.
And you'll be wherever you are, Tony. I know you've got things going on.
I'll be in San Diego on Wednesday.
Wednesday, you'll be at home because it's a day off.
What?
Thursday.
It's a day off. He's got to enjoy
He's
his
going
day.
back to San Diego.
We already know that, Sam Levitt said he wants nothing to do with me Wednesday. It's his day off.
That is true.
Don't blame him.
That is true. Sam said, no, I'm not going to join you, Chris.
Not joining us. All right, Tony, we got a lot to get to in the 5 o'clock hour. Among them, my concern with the Padres starting pitching in spring training, But I'm looking forward to your thoughts on my overreaction to that. Also in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll get into the WBC and everything that happened yesterday. Aztecs not making the NCAA tournament. So all of that ahead with Tony Gwynn Jr. But now Scraby has traffic in a Big Five.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by the Caltrans Stormwater Program. Visit cleanwaterca.com. Still a number of trouble spots on our roads this afternoon. A crash has cleared on southbound 5 before Garnett, but in the South Bay, South 5, right past the 54, there is a collision involving a couple vehicles. Looks like they are in the center divide. Also, southbound 805, dealing with a collision right before Mira Mesa Boulevard. It's in the center divide, then a crash further down on or near the Imperial Avenue off-ramp. Got a stall on the Magnolia Boulevard on-ramp to eastbound 8, and watch out for some debris reported across lanes on West 52 right before the 125.
Welcome to Trash Talk. Our guest, Chip Bag. What's up, Chip?
Been on the road a lot.
That's not where you belong.
Right, because then litter gets in our waterways.
Let's change this.
Put me in the bin. That is where I belong. Visit cleanwaterca.com.
From the Caltrans Stormwater Program.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
I know we've been playing that California Waterway commercial for a while now, but I've never actually stopped down to listen to the bag of chips talking. Hey man, the bag of chips. Okay, fine. Chris doesn't even laugh.
I didn't even
there
hear
at
it.
all.
I was, off in La La Land, where I usually
Which is
am.
where you've been for the past hour. Where did you go? Where did you go?
You could tell Chris had no idea what you're talking about.
Tony, I've been dealing with a ghost for the entire show. The first hour was fine, but something happened at 3 p.m. and he became a
Can't
ghost.
explain it. Can't explain it.
Okay.
I get it.
All right, let's get into it.
Number 5.
Let's start with this one. By the way, we're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. This one was a leftover Padres pen pals, but I never got a chance to ask it, so here we go. Last night, and this is not being.
This ain't
written
even
by
a
me.
real Big Five. This is a pen pal.
Well, it's a topic that I wanted to get to earlier, but we didn't. I didn't write this. Last night, I saw something I never thought I would see. Fernando talking to Ken Rosenthal, giving an interview in the dugout. WTF, man? What happened to the Padres not talking to this guy? Chris, why would Fernando do that?
I don't know. Maybe they've buried the hatchet. I don't know. I don't like Ken Rosenthal, so I'm going to have a chat with Fernando about this myself, although I don't think he'll be all that too concerned about
I cannot wait. I'm going to get my
thoughts.
camera ready for when Chris goes up to Fernando to
I
ask him.
get a kick out of it every time Ken Rosenthal talks to any player and then schmoozes them, and they all laugh and smile, and they love the guy. I don't get it. I don't think they realize that the minute they turn their back, he's more than happy to strike them down. But hey.
All right, Tony. Why?
Hey, look, Ken Rosenthal is at least better on television than Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl's losing his mind.
Bruce Pearl's lost everybody this weekend.
All right, Tony. Why would Fernando do this when there's some history with Ken Rosenthal?
Because this isn't WWE. I mean, he's a pro, he's a professional, and you can't walk around being mad for the rest of your life about one incident that you deemed over the line. I think it's ridiculous, honestly. I think that's why he's talking to him ultimately.
Yeah.
Now, if Ken does something else that they deem was inappropriate, they can give him the silent treatment. That can't last. You can't do that forever.
And Ken's still going to be showing up in those dugouts.
Yes. So you be a pro. How would it have looked if? I mean, do you want that to be the story? Because that's what it would have been the story if Toddy didn't I mean, wouldn't we be talking about how that game ended? I mean, we'd be talking about it a little bit, but that would be another side story. So I think Toddy's just being a pro.
I agree. I mean, you don't even know the circumstance behind it. Maybe he got money for it. Maybe he got paid for it. Maybe the Dominican team said, hey, it's your turn to be interviewed. I don't know.
Maybe he's not mad. Maybe he's moved on.
I didn't even mention that, but maybe he has.
No, you did.
Because the sinister sling lives on forever. Okay?
In your mind.
That's number 4.
All right, I found this story to be perfect for our show. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss said in a court filing last Thursday that the uncertainty surrounding his NCAA eligibility cost him a shot at being on the cover of EA Sports college football video game. He said that as of last week, he was one of the 3 finalists to appear on the front of the next version of the game. That changed recently. The filing said he got a text message from the company saying they just can't stomach the risk of him not suiting up for the Rebels this fall while being on the cover. His lawyer said in addition to the NIL compensation, which Trinidad would have received for being featured on the cover, he would have enjoyed heightened notoriety and prestige since the cover shot is considered an honor in college football and in the gaming community. Appearing here, his lawyer's still going. Appearing on the cover would have created organic publicity for Trinidad, enhancing both his marketability and publicity rights. Being on the cover would have been personally meaningful to Trinidad, who could have shown his cover photo to potential employers and even his children and grandchildren, end quote. Tony, does Trinidad Chambliss deserve damages?
Deserve? No. He may legally, by, whatever
he may have a
loophole,
case.
He may have a case, but does he deserve it? Here's how I kind of think of it, right? How many years was he allowed to play?
Well, he's coming in like 6.
This will be his 6th season.
I believe so.
If you are indeed fortunate enough to be allowed to play 6 seasons, I feel like you shouldn't be also trying to then, get on the cover of EA Sports when you've already had 5 other chances. I mean, really, the only reason why you getting this opportunity is because you got to play a 5th year in college.
Yeah.
A 5th year, not a 4th, a 5th. And so, I don't blame EA Sports. I don't think his lawyer is wrong in terms of the things that he would have gotten if he was on it, but they didn't choose you. And they didn't choose you because there's a risk on their side that you might not suit up.
Yeah. Good explanation. Chris, I guess I'll ask you the same way. Does he deserve damages?
No. These guys make so much money now.
But he's a college player. He's not in the NFL yet. This could be setting him up for the rest of his life, Chris.
I'm throwing it out my courtroom.
You're just throwing it out.
Yeah, I am. I don't know. I wish the game was the thing, but it's not anymore. I know, but I don't like it.
It's just so weird to me because someone in the comments of this article put, does he want to play pro football or does he want to just be a college football player for the rest of his life? Because this seems like a guy who just wants to make money in college. I don't know.
He probably can.
He may not have an opportunity at the NFL level.
That's true. I don't know. It just all seems weird. It just all seems it
is weird.
Now we're going to sue because it feels like the lawyer is making him do this.
I would stay in college as long as I could if I didn't have pro aspirations. Make as much money as you can.
All right.
But lawyers. Lawyers are not our friends. 99% of the time.
Sorry to all you arbiters out there.
Yeah, you know what lawyers I'm talking about. There's a lot of lawyers that are absolutely imperative, but yeah, the people chasing that big payday, slimy.
All right.
Number 3.
With March Madness just days away, Alabama might be without one of its most important players, and they are going to be without one of their most important players.
Ain't no Mike.
Junior guard Aiden Holloway was arrested Monday, I believe today, after authorities found over a pound of marijuana during a narcotics search at a Tuscaloosa residence. It has been announced he was charged with a first-degree possession of marijuana and failure to affix a tax stamp. He was taken to jail. His bond was set at $5,000. My original question was, do you think he'll play against Hofstra on Friday? But the school took care of that. He's no longer with the team. so he will most likely not be playing on Friday.
I still think you can ask that question because Nate Oates is in the building.
Chris. I don't really have a new question for this. All outside of, is this the right thing to do, Chris? Remove him from the team.
Of course it is, but when's Alabama ever done the right thing? And this will be a new thing for them. So good luck. Hoping it sticks.
Someone higher up than Nate Oates made this call.
But Nate Oates has people higher up than that. Nate Oates has judges in the Alabama Supreme Court that already ruled in favor of one of his guys.
That's true.
They clearly don't like this Gunja story.
No, this is obviously different. Yeah,
Gunja.
Yeah, I think the ganja might be a different deal in Alabama. Everybody says it's a big deal there. Yeah, thanks, Grabe. All right, good. Yeah, we got it. Got the message.
Pass, get puff, pass, or whatever it is.
Puff. There you go. There you go.
I'm going to stick with what I said earlier. I hope that somehow they find a way to let him be on the roster Thursday night. Not for he doesn't deserve it. It's total BS. But I really want to hear Nate Oates have to make an explanation for why he thinks it's okay. Because that's theater to me.
Nate Oates just says, well, weed's legal elsewhere, right?
It's theater to me. But.
Tony, do you think that they did the right thing here?
Yeah, they did the right thing.
Yeah, the breaking news really torpedoed my question, so I just got to move on.
I mean, the question
sorry
was,
about that.
Well, I think when you brought it up originally, it was a fair point to make. Would he play? Because you've seen what happens with other Alabama athletes. So,
yeah. All right, this one is maybe one of my favorite
number 2
Big Five stories we've done in a while. Former Atlanta Falcon offensive tackle Elijah Wilkinson has appeared in 96 NFL games, started 62 of them, so we can say at least that he is a qualified NFL player. Qualified players like Wilkinson should also stay off social media. He recently signed a 2-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals, and on a social media post, a fan commented, quote, "Thank God you're gone." And Wilkinson replied, quote, "Good luck with that clown show over there," talking about the Falcons. And then he wrote in another post, quote, "Good luck with Concussion King," which is what he's talking about Tua. So I'm not going to disagree that the Falcons are a clown show. I'm not even going to address Concussion King comments.
I hope Adam's listening right now.
Okay, he agrees. But
he agrees that they're a clown show.
Yes, he agrees. Tony, you're up first here. It's a kind of a long question, but can Wilkinson badmouth the Falcons for being a clown show when he is heading to the Cardinals, which is also a clown show?
Yeah, well, two things can be true at the same time. I mean, he could be leaving a clown show to also go to a clown show. But the difference is he doesn't know the other place is a clown show yet.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
He has this optimism about Arizona, where he's going, this new greener pasture out there. It's not a great look, but he was clearly triggered by the fan.
He was.
He was clearly triggered by that, and he probably would like that tweet back.
Concussion King.
All of it.
Chris, what do you think?
Poor Tua's catching strays. He ain't even a part of the conversation.
I read
Tua needs to wear a crown now.
I read that Tua is a legit shot to be the starter on opening day.
Why do you think they yes, of course.
Of course. They traded for him, right?
Good luck.
No, they picked him up off the scrap heap.
Yeah, I don't think they traded anything for him. Miami bought
scrap heap.
What's the old I think the old line from Tommy Lasorda was that he, liked he thought they would, hit a pitcher so much that he was going to send a limo for the guy to make sure he made it to the ballpark. I think that's the same thing that the Dolphins, I think they sent a limo to send Tua elsewhere. Just, make sure he makes it safe.
They're like, "Hey, Tua, get in this car. We're going to take you somewhere." And then they just take him away.
By and large, this is never a good idea to trash your former employer because things have a way of coming around.
Trevor also makes a good point. Who's the Arizona quarterback again? That's another great point because he left the team with Tua.
They don't have one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Falcons are
clown show everywhere.
By all accounts, the Falcons are a Hall of Fame franchise next to the Cardinals.
Number 1.
Juan Soto isn't necessarily known for being controversial with things that he says, but after a heartbreaking and controversial ending, he said something controversial. He told ESPN after the game, quote, "We showed the world who's the best team in baseball. That's all I got to say," end quote. So, Chris, can the best team also be the team that loses?
Oh, that happens often.
But is what he's saying here true?
You know what? I'm such a big Juan Soto fan. I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt here and say that he was just speaking out of frustration. He knows it's probably not the best look for him to say we're the better team and we proved it when they didn't win. So I'm sure he's aware of that. But
it also came like minutes after the game.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Frustration would certainly be a factor. And, they definitely felt some type of way about that last pitch. So, I'm going to give him again, I don't want everybody saying out there that I always give Juan Soto a pass, but I'm giving him a pass.
Everybody remember to this point. Tony, can the best team also be the losing team?
Yeah. As Chris said, it happens all the time. I don't think that was the case here. I think the Americans were better. They hit 2 homers to their 1.
Yeah.
In the last game. I mean, that's just what it is. He could have his opinion on what he thinks was displayed, but I would think most people who watched the game would say the USA was better on that particular game. That's simple.
And, I think it was a very quick and to the point comment by Juan Soto. He wanted to make sure he got showered, changed, and didn't want to keep everybody waiting on the bus.
I knew
so
that.
He was
I
right
knew
there.
We were going somewhere with
on
this.
Time.
Chris is never going to let that
never
part
going to forget
go.
that one go.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's
Fernando.
a little sour grapes on that one, Juan, must say.
Tony, what do you think? Maybe we asked this on the other side. What do you think Mason Miller would have thrown Fernando? We were robbed of one of the most anticipated, in my mind, matchups in a long time.
Good. Glad you guys.
Oh, you didn't want to see it?
No, I didn't want to see it.
I feel like I should ask Mason Miller what he was going to throw.
Yeah,
Fernando.
and he's going to tell you to take a walk.
Okay, fine.
Take a walk, brother.
When we get back, Tony will talk about Joe Musgrove on the IL. Chris will harangue about the rotation. I was thinking about his word.
And I'm sure Tony will harangue about my haranguing.
Probably. Happy hour next.
Most likely.
97.3 The Fan. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Scraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Scraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm going to laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Scravy, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh man, this is hot. It's not that bad though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. Never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Scraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick. So goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Scraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Scravy, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man.
Happy hour time here on Gwynn and Chris. Happy Monday to all of you. Chris, hello. Tony Gwynn Jr. down at the Peoria Palace. Myself, Matt Scraby, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. And a lot of stuff to talk about in the final hour of the show. With Tony Gwynn Jr. aboard. Padres did win today, 3-1. Walker Buehler, 5 shutties. And Padres, don't think the Padres scored till the 6th. If I'm not mistaken. They didn't do anything against the Giants starter. Tyler Mahle, 4 innings, allowed just a double to Luis Campusano. By the way, that's good news for the Campusano concerns out there. But Padres got rolling later in the ball game and ended up winning 3-1. So, Tony, Scraby and I had the discussion. Well, I talked, he listened, and then he said, well, Tony's not going to like that. But all I did was read the numbers for the starting pitchers in spring training. And Walker Buehler's numbers, look a lot better after today. But, I went through J.P. Sears, 8.43 ERA, Marco Gonzalez, 13.96, Marquez, 12.14. I mean, these aren't good numbers, but Tristan McKenzie, 9.95, Michael King, 9.94, even Pivetta, 7.88. Vasquez has pitched well. Bueller has pitched well. Nobody else has pitched well. And I said, I just hope that because we always talk about spring training numbers don't matter, and I think the Padres got to hope that that's true. Because really, I don't know how much confidence everybody has in the pitching staff after what we've seen this spring. Scraby said Tony will calm you down. Just wait till he gets on the show. So you're here now.
Well, because
calm me down.
Because I was like, I've been told for the last 8 years that spring training numbers don't matter, but now spring training numbers do matter.
I don't know. What do you think, Tony Gwynn Jr.? Maybe it matters for some and not for others.
It matters from the standpoint of making the team, wanting to be on team, but outside of that, they don't mean jack. Like they if that is the case, then Nick Solak's going to be our everyday left fielder. We got Nick Schnell, who's hit four homers, and he's going to be our starting center fielder. He's going to overtake Jackson Merrill. If these numbers actually, let's just do it all the way around. Let's not just do it for the pitchers that are struggling. Let's also do it for the pitchers that are doing really well. I mean, listen, Pivetta hasn't, he had a slowdown. So I think he's still, it's just made his third start not that long ago. Who else we got in the front end? Michael's made all his starts. I mean, he's, I think, trending in the right direction.
Now, I guess I'll bring up you were there. We didn't get a show that day, so we didn't talk about it, but he gave up back-to-back home runs. Is that just an inning you throw away?
Yeah, I think it's an inning throw away. I mean, listen, Michael has in the past had some issues with the long ball, but I don't know that that's what we're talking about here. I mean, listen, I get it. Everybody's looking at these numbers and it's maybe scaring them, but they don't really matter. Now we get to the regular season and you already know these things are going to, a lot of these things are going to tighten up. I think they're going to be going at about 5 innings, 90 pitches is what you start looking at the first couple times through. They're all approaching that kind of level. I mean, Walker today is a good example. He's a guy that has, once he got going, he got a little bit of a late start too. Once he got going, he's made all his starts, and you've seen him gradually get a little better. All the processes aren't going to necessarily have that taking a step upward every time like it seems like Walker's has, but as long as these guys are getting through their outing, at least the ones that are on the team. Marquez is fighting for a spot. So yeah, that's not necessarily a good thing for him. Tristan McKenzie's fighting for a spot. He threw the ball better his last time. I think he's going to get another shot here tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So, another chance to seize the opportunity. Marco Gonzalez struggled immensely. And so, those are the guys that are now fighting for an extra spot with Joe likely starting the year on the IL. So that's just competition, and that will wean itself out as well. I think the guys that you named, pretty much all of them, are competing for the 5th spot. It's not as though those are guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the rotation that the Padres are going to have to lean on.
Kyle Hart is a guy we didn't mention. Now, he has not given up an earned run yet.
Nope.
Has he put himself in a better position than, say, somebody like Marquez, who has given up a bunch of runs? How does Ruben Niebla deal with that, Tony? You've been around all these guys. I'm assuming that Niebla is looking more at how you throw the ball than the results, but I think the results have to figure in there somewhere.
Like I said, they'll be a part of what they use to evaluate who's making the team. That I don't know that they're the same guy, Marquez and Hart. I think, if you're going with Hart, it's because of the versatility that he can start, he can come out of the pen, he can, he kind of can do multiple things. I think Marquez, I don't know if they would use him out of the pen, but he's I guess they could. They haven't tested that yet. And so I don't know that that's a kind of in the cards at this point. So I don't know that those two are in particular are competing for the same spot. I would have said Gillespie and Hart were competing for the same spot. Then he had a rough outing and I'm sure they're still competing, but he had a rough outing in that 22-2 game or whatever it was.
Yeah, the name we keep hearing from everyone, pitching wise, Logan Gillespie. Like, he has been awesome so far in spring training.
Well, he was until that outing. He gave up 9 runs the other day.
I think he gave up like 4 homers or something crazy like that.
Just get it all out, bro. Get it all out.
I don't know. Scraby and everybody thought I was being negative. I don't think I was being negative. I was bringing up the numbers, and I was saying that I hope this isn't what we're going to get, because that's not going to work. And I do think that if you are the Padres, I would rather have a little more confidence in my pitchers knowing they'd thrown a little bit better. Because eventually somebody's going to be starting some of these early season games. And, I don't know who it's going to be. I think Walker Buehler is pretty much settling into one of those spots for sure, though, Tony.
Yeah.
Although, everything's on a need-to-know basis, I imagine. What are you hearing about Musgrove other than what we're hearing? Anything?
What is it that you guys are hearing? I didn't hear
he's
that.
out for the year. No, we're not hearing that. No, he's
just what Craig Stammen said this morning.
Just basically, going to miss at least one turn in the rotation.
Yeah, it sounds like it's whatever it is not a major issue. I think the fact that they are, he said something that I thought was interesting, that Joe's been throwing a lot. Like, you got to go back to right before he cranked up to try to get himself ready for the playoffs. He's been throwing since then, and they knew at some point he was going to need a break. And so the fact that he was a little balky after the start, I think only confirmed that. He said that basically because they've had to shut him down, they're going to have to build him back up, and there's just not going to be enough time, most likely, for him to be able to be ready for the start of the season. But that doesn't matter. And the other thing you're starting to learn about how they view this thing is we've, as fans, focus in on opening day like it's this end date of thing, but the reality is just one of 162. So if he's not out there, the first 2 series of the year, so be it. You want to have him ultimately for the long haul. And so the fact that Stam was like, he's likely going to hit the IL or start on the IL probably means he's going to start on the IL. And that which then opens up. So now Vasquez is sliding into a 3 spot, Buehler's in the 4 spot, and now you have an open competition for that 5 spot. And I think based on the things you just said, it is wide open still. Like, someone can still seize, whether it's Sears, whether it's Marquez, whether it's McKenzie, whether it's, Marco Gonzalez. Any of those guys can all of a sudden get going, and, they'll have a shot.
10 days, Tony. 10 days.
Yeah, man.
Till opening day.
I'm ready for opening day, everybody.
Me too.
Don't
get me
ready,
out
man.
of here.
I can hear, what it feels nice because I can hear Tony's air conditioning, which just is like it's not like it's loud.
It's not my air conditioning.
Oh, I was gonna say, because
I left the door open to the sliding door. You're getting real outside noise.
Wow, in
We're
100-degree
pulling
weather.
into 106-degree weather Wednesday, Scrape.
Chris is gonna be out back on the patio in the sun.
Incredible that we picked this week for y'all to come down here.
It's
wowzers.
Yeah. I didn't expect 100
Tony,
degrees.
just leave the back. Just leave the back door to the cafeteria, Jimmy, so I can get in there and get a soda. Will you please?
Someone said that Chris needed his apple juice earlier.
I was upset because I didn't have my apple juice. More Gwynn and Chris is coming up. We got the NCAA brackets out. We have World Baseball Classic, Italy, Venezuela. They're underway in the other semifinal. Last night's ball game, Tony's thoughts, and much more on Gwynn and Chris. Venezuela ball game underway, no score. Bottom of the first inning, Aaron Nola on the hill for the Italians, shutting down Venezuela in the top of the first. Italy is now batting with the all of a sudden dangerous John Birdie at the plate. John Birdie was very Campusano-like last year. If you look him up in Major League Baseball, don't think he had a hit for the Cubs. They finally just said that's enough. I don't think he had a hit. He's been hitting the cover off the ball in this tournament, though. And the winner plays the U.S. tomorrow night.
John Birdie was good for the Marlins like 2 years ago.
Yes. No, but last year was what I mean.
Yeah.
He was a zip. Happy Hour is brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans to keep their pools sparkling, swim ready, and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now and say radio for a free month of service. I know I'm going to be in Peoria in the back there at the Padre facility Wednesday, but I might just have to get a key from you, Tony, and break into your complex and go in the pool.
Go in the pool?
I'm assuming he's got a pool somewhere nearby in the Peoria Palace.
I think there's a pool here somewhere. I haven't done
There's a pool somewhere.
Who uses a community pool?
I do every day. I go swim laps in the morning.
But no one's there with you?
At 5:30? No.
Like, if you came there and there was like a bunch of kids playing, would you go the other way?
Well, no, because laps are from 5:30 to 10 a.m., and I don't go after 10 a.m.
Wow, okay. I didn't know there was rules.
There are rules.
Okay.
Kids don't get up before 10 a.m. anyway. So
I did. I was a kid who was up at 5:36 every day. Hey, Mom, let's go.
You'd have to, if you went to the pool in our place, you'd have to do laps. Could not just dilly-dally in the pool.
Okay. What if my dilly-dallying resembled laps?
Well, you give it your best shot.
Okay.
United States 2-1. All right, we already hit up Tony with the fact he was glad that we didn't see a Mason Miller versus Fernando showdown to end the game last night. Your thoughts on the ABS system? Did what happened last night make it, build the momentum for the ABS in the regular season of baseball this year after what we saw there?
I don't know that it needed momentum. I think it was going to come regardless of this. I think, I just think people first got in the same way that the whole DeRosa thing, you got to think about the logistics of this particular thing, right? If all of the games had been held in the United States, probably a little bit different. You probably can have ABS, but being that somewhere in Japan, somewhere in the Dominican, I don't know that the logistics of getting that set up there in those spots can happen. Now, I'm sure now they will start working on it because everybody is so fake outraged about what
I am outraged, Tony.
Just stop it. We've been watching baseball all of our lives, and we've been watching these type of calls happen. This is the first year it won't happen.
Swing the bat.
Well,
I also brought this. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
It was a bad call. Period. I mean, Corey missed that call. He missed a few of them, but that is baseball. That's what happened. Now, next year, if they have it, we won't have to worry about it. It'll be fixed.
Ball 4. Here comes Fernando.
I mean, that would have been a ball. It would have been a ball, but it's okay.
It wasn't. But you know what? There's a lot of pitches throughout every game. I'm not giving the DR any.
He missed calls both ways all throughout that game. It wasn't just getting calls from the USA side.
The pitching was really good. I mean, I don't know. The United States
phenomenal.
Nobody hit in that game. I mean, it was pretty much the old.
It was 3 homers. That was it. Nobody else did much.
What do they call it, Tony? The Lawrence Welk inning. You guys know what that is?
Is that what they call that?
Yes, a Lawrence Welk inning. He was an old band leader back in the day, and he used to go,
"Oh yeah,
a 1, 2, 3." Anyway,
Tony, will you please this year use it? Be like, and we finally completed the first Lawrence Welk inning of the year.
It's the Lawrence Welk inning, a 1, a 2, a 3.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
That's what he used to say.
Oh man,
Lawrence Welk. I you should try that one with Jesse, Tony. See what response you get for that. Try it tomorrow in a spring game.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Hey Jesse, guess what that was? What? A Lawrence Welk inning, huh? A 1, a 2, a 3.
No shot.
Actually, it's kind of funny.
shot.
I would love to see this happen. I would love to see this happen.
Oh, man.
No shot.
I would tune in for sure.
Where are you at, Tony, with the Mason Miller throwing tomorrow night thing? Because John Heyman reported earlier that Mason Miller was likely not going to pitch in the game tomorrow night. And then he updated the report and said David Bednar's not going to pitch. So maybe Mason Miller will be available.
It seems like it's Craig Stammen going to decide, Tony. That's what we're hearing.
I mean, Craig said there's been no decision.
Yeah.
He said he hasn't talked to Mason yet. He will talk to Mason. They'll evaluate it and go from there. I mean, I hope he gets the he's going to want to pitch.
Yes.
And Stam acknowledged that. He's going to want to pitch. So
even in spring training, though, wouldn't he have been fine pitching one inning and then a day off?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, good. Because we need him. Team USA needs him. Chris was cheering against Team USA last night to see Fernando do something great.
That's totally ridiculous. It's not what I said at all. I said exactly what you said. I wanted to see Fernando face Mason Miller. And then I asked you and everyone out there, what would have everybody been rooting for? Would everybody been rooting for Fernando to get a hit? Or would have people been rooting for Miller to strike him out? That was the conundrum.
What a conundrum.
It is a conundrum because you cannot cheer for something
that
Team
didn't
USA,
happen.
Yeah, that too. But Team USA is our team, Chris.
I know what they are.
I know what they are.
Tony, your thoughts on because we got Marvell Gwynn, the former Padres, become a soccer expert. He's coming on, right, to talk about SDFC. Is that true?
Junior. Son.
Yeah,
it's his son. Well, there you go. I thought it was actually Marvelous who was joining us. I really did.
I mean, I guess we haven't used the junior.
You
on
haven't
the
put
text,
it on junior anywhere, so I thought
should
it was
have
actually
added junior.
Oh man, one of my all-time favorites, Marvell Gwynn. Okay,
Marvell Gwynn Jr. For those who don't know, he was like a first-round pick in MLS. I don't know how many years ago now, but yeah, he was a very good player in MLS. So he's does a podcast for SDFC now.
Good.
And we probably should have all that information by the time he comes on here, so we can welcome him the right way.
Yes. Well, that's good. SDFC did not lose this weekend. They played to a 3-3 draw with FC Dallas. Actually, Dallas scored very late in the match to gain a draw, but still a great start, 3-0-1, and they got the return match with Toluca coming up Wednesday. So we'll talk about that. But I want to get your thoughts on the NCAA tournament and the exclusion of our Aztecs, Tony.
I mean, I kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I as much as I was trying to convince myself that there's a chance.
Me too, yeah.
It was just really hard to get my mind to that was going to happen. And I couldn't really be mad that it didn't. We didn't play well enough. We assumed, all of us did, going in that we had to win the tournament. And then, I think a couple of wins kind of makes you feel like, all right, well, maybe we can kind of slide in there, without having to win the whole thing. And then that turned out not to be true. So,
yeah, the game against Utah State again, there's a little frustration with it because of the big moment in the game was the 3-pointer that came with a foul call, and Utah State goes from 4 points ahead to 9 points ahead on one trip down the floor, and they look at it on replay, and it looked like the foul was committed well before the guy took the shot, and so the shot probably shouldn't have counted. But I agree with you, Tony. The Aztecs had so many chances this year to win a game that they needed to win and kind of impress everybody, and they never really came up with it, unfortunately. And, they played 2.5 good games here in Las Vegas, but that was what we were all worried about was could they play 3 good games, and it wasn't in the cards for these guys this year. So I did say earlier that I don't like SMU getting in as an 11th place team over a second place team, but I also understand this is what they do in the March Madness, and the big conferences get rewarded for being big conferences, and so that's the way that goes. We'll talk more about the NCAA tournament, of course, as the week goes on, but coming up next, Marvell Gwynn Junior. You know, Marvell Wynn and your dad were part of a moment in Padre history, were they not, Tony?
They were indeed.
Marvell, your dad, John Kruk, I believe. Homer to start a ball game back in the day.
Nice.
All right, we'll have Marvell's son when we come back talking soccer.
From the first pitch of the year to the biggest games down.
marvelous Marvell Gwynn. Played for the San Diego Padres from 1986 through 1989. 4 years with the Friars. Hit a cool 258. And he had 26 home runs with the Padres. He always seemed to play great on Sunday afternoons. That's what I remember, because Sundays were the day that the fourth outfielder normally got a start. And that's what Marvell was, and he always seemed to come through. His son is going to be on the show here shortly to talk about his expertise, which is San Diego FC. Some soccer talk headed your way. Meanwhile, no score yet between Venezuela and Italy. They're in the second inning. Scraby going to check a little traffic for us, though.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We're getting reports of possibly two separate crashes very close to each other in Mission Valley. One eastbound 8 right before the 163. It's over to the right shoulder. Then an accident at Mission Center, possibly blocking the two left lanes. A couple stalled vehicles along the 5, one near the border, southbound 5 at Villa de San Isidro. It's in the center divide, and a stall reported on northbound 5 right before Claremont Drive. This car is over the right shoulder, partially in the slow lane. San Diego drivers, keep moving with Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their expert technicians help keep your vehicle and everyone in it safe and road ready. Stay in your car, no appointment needed. Save at SoCalOilChange.com. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, your 15-minute drive-through oil change. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Marvell Gwynn will be joining us shortly. Before that, though, Scraby, nothing from you on the Academy Awards last night. The biggest pop culture event in our country. You paid it no mind at all.
No mind.
And your reason you gave to Tony and I was that
why are we why are we bringing this up?
Well, because I think it's funny. You don't like the fact that you don't like the speeches. You think the speeches are.
I think the only good thing about the Academy Awards is the actual award being announced. That's it.
So you just assume read it in the paper the next day. Then you don't need to see
all the
award.
push notifications. I saw that Leo DiCaprio's movie won, but
that's all you're interested in.
And Conan O'Brien sounded funny. Was he funny?
Pretty good. Had some moments. The In Memoriam segment was especially dramatic last night.
Who was the most famous that passed away?
Well, Robert Redford and Diane Keaton were the most famous actor and actresses, but the biggest tribute was for Rob Reiner, of course.
Oh, yes.
Who's pretty much Hollywood royalty. So that was quite.
Did Conan feel weird about
20
that?
minutes. Conan didn't do the In Memoriam.
Oh, because I was going to say, because he was at that party.
When Rob Reiner
when the son showed up and everybody was concerned.
That's right. You're right. Yeah,
Conan was at that party with
Rob Reiner's son and Bill Hader. No, that wasn't any part of it last night. I don't know. I like the Academy Awards. I think you got to check in on pop culture now and again. And but you had the World Baseball Classic. You couldn't do both.
You're right.
I could, because I have that little nifty DVR thing that worked really, really well. I watched the World Baseball Classic after the award show. A quick baseball score, Tony. I don't know if you saw this one today, but just for fun, Milwaukee Brewers 24, Dodgers 9. Always like to see a score like that.
Padres got 22 put up on them against the Rangers the other day.
Padres put up 27 against the Mariners, I think.
Yes, it was.
All right, Marvell Gwynn is with us, and he is a soccer star. His father, of course, you may recognize the name, was a center fielder for the Padres back in the 1980s, teammates of Tony's dad. But we're happy to have the younger Marvell Gwynn with us today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, guys. How you guys doing?
We are good. And, well, let's talk about San Diego FC. I know you have a podcast. I know you're into it. I know you've been in the league. I mean, just in general, what are we seeing this year so far? How excited should we be getting based on the start to this season, which is 3 wins and a draw? And then you mix in the fact that they're playing pretty well so far in this CONCACAF Cup as well, Marvell.
All the excitement is worthy. I mean, coming off of last year, breaking a record for the most points by unexpected side, most goals by an inspection side. We won the Western Conference, we didn't win the Western Conference, but we scored the most points during league play. And then this year, last year we had a little bit of trouble scoring at home, but I think we're 8 goals at home, none against. And we got our first tie away from home in Dallas this past weekend. But I mean, the team's looking strong, the team's looking good, and especially in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, we're also looking good as well, beating the number 2 team in Mexico last week, and then we head out there to play them on Wednesday.
Marvin, it kind of explained the CONCACAF Cup. How big of a deal should people think that this is? Obviously, it's outside the MLS, but I don't know that people who may not tune into soccer enough necessarily recognize the gravity that this particular cup brings.
Right. All right. Yeah. So I mean, there's always going to be a rivalry between the United States and Mexico, and this CONCACAF. And it's a region. CONCACAF is the region that we're in. I actually don't know what it stands for off the top of my head, honestly. But this is our way.
It's too many letters for you to expect to know that one. That's fine.
There are so many letters.
Way too long. Yeah. I bet you Federation is at the end of it, Marvell. Let's just go with that.
You know what? I'm going to take that bet with you. I bet it's Federation.
Yeah, right.
But it's a chance for our best clubs to play against the best clubs within the region, and for MLS itself to actually showcase what the best teams we have. So in order to qualify, you need to either score the most points, win the cup, get second place, or Supporters Shield. And it's just a fun way to see our style and in MLS versus the styles of other countries and see what they come up with. It's actually it's really exciting because you get some international play, and all cards are or all bets are off when it comes to international play. There's nothing that you should expect to happen one way or another because it's just kind of all or nothing.
Marvell Wynn played 13 years of MLS. That's quite a remarkable run there, Marvell. I must say, number 1 pick of the New York Red Bulls. Could it really have been 2006? My God, that was 20 years ago. I'm sorry to remind you, but don't worry, I'm way older than you, so it hurts me probably a little bit more. What is the success that you see from Mikey Varas and the style of San Diego FC, and what is it that you see him and this team doing that has allowed it and kind of lent itself to the success that they've had?
So Mikey and his staff all come from youth coaching experiences. And with youth coaching experiences, you are kind of patient and willing to teach from the ground up. I believe if you come in someone who's done really well in the league is Bruce Arena. I had him as a coach briefly, but he coached the national team, and he's very much so. Once you're here, you're now here to do what I tell you to do, and that's it. Like if you can't do what I tell you to do, then you're out. But with Mikey Varas and his squad, they not only are welcome to teaching and growing these players, but also giving them the confidence to do so. So you'll notice we have a very particular style of play, and mistakes are made. But instead of there being a mistake made and then you never see that player again, you're going to see them back on the pitch doing the same thing, except now they pull it off, and then you see the flow of the game just look that much better. So it's all about just giving the players confidence with new tactics and harsh decisions that need to be made on the pitch, but knowing that if you pull it off, great, you're gonna get pats on the back, you're gonna get all the accolades. But if you don't pull it off, we got your back. Maybe next time, but we have faith in you. We believe you can do it.
Marvell Wynn joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. Marvell is part of the official SDFC podcast. Make sure you guys check it out. Marvell, tell me a little bit about what's happening with Chucky Lozano. I know it was a decision made prior to the season really going that each side was going to part ways. It hasn't really been a lot of conversation or news about it. Is that still in the cards? Is that still being worked out as we speak?
Early in the year before things started, Tyler Heath came out and said that he's not in the game plan, essentially moving forward. And us, in the media and all that stuff, we're not exactly in the locker room, but what he says is not only what we know, but what we're allowed to know. Because we know how locker rooms are. I mean, there can be some beef here, beef there, or contractual talk that will remain within that player and the management. So as far as we know, I think he might still be around, just training and looking for a new place to go. But as of right now, I wouldn't expect him to see him on the pitch at all.
Marvell Wins, we mentioned your dad who played for the Padres in the mid-'80s, and as part of some Padre history with Tony's dad, the two of them, along with John Kruk, started with home run, a famous moment in Padre history. I didn't know your dad personally, Marvell, but I interviewed him many times in the media when he played here, and always a tremendously nice guy and good with everybody. How is he doing for the Padre fans who'd like to catch up with him a little bit?
He's doing well. Yeah, he actually made his way back to Chicago, so he's back at home. But he makes a point to come out here and see me at least twice a year. And I know this might be, a little sensitive subject, but he's a little bit of Raider Nation, so we also go out and watch the Vegas Raiders play once a year as well. Don't lose love for my dad, all right? But,
no way.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's doing really well, and he also says hi to all you guys. I told him I was going to come on here, and he told me to say what's up in my dad's voice.
That's awesome. Barb, talk to me a little. You mentioned that this staff really enjoys kind of working with some of the younger guys. There have been a few new young guys kind of introduced to us this year. Tell us a little bit about the youth movement that they have going with this squad.
So not only with the youth movement, with this professional side, but the academy side as well. We have this academy where it's going to be completely paid for these kids, I think ages 13 and up, where they get schooling, they get to play, and they get the experience to be on the pitch, with fellow professional athletes. But on this squad, see these new guys come in. I think there are 3 or 4 guys that come from Mikey Veras coaching the U20 side. So in that, there's a familiarity and also like among the players and also with the coaching style. We have a Right to Dream style that's been based out of the Northland up in Denmark and all that. And the youth side of players, what's funny is that I think we started the youngest back line in MLS history or something like that. Either I think it was last year or earlier this year, I forget when it was. But something along those lines has these players being open and willing to learn and adapt and adjust to what this formulaic style is. Because it's not a usual, style of play that we have. We kind of go against the grain. And if you have players that are so set in their own ways to play their own way, they might get out there and, either not like it or say, I'm going to do things my way. But having us all on the same page, when we're on the same pitch, is extremely valuable. And I think these young guys, while they, outwardly say that they're being guided by older players like Ingvartsen and Anders Dreyer, these young guys also teach the new guys coming in, saying, we do things a little bit different here. Trust me, I got you. It's going to take some adjusting, but there's a big familial attitude within everybody. So young, old, doesn't matter. Family, and especially when you're on the pitch together, I mean, that's a squad.
Marvell, what's the strategy going into this match Wednesday night up against Toluca, and the altitude and the fact that you have a 1-goal lead in this 2-match tie? However, they got 2 goals in your building, so I don't know. We need to either score or we need to at least forge a tie here to move on, right? And there's a lot of different things going on in one match because of every time there's a goal scored, the whole thing changes, right?
Yeah, it's huge to get games or to get goals on the road, and them getting 2 against us. I mean, it's gonna put us a little bit behind the 8 ball, but that's nothing that we're not used to. It's tough altitude wise because we played Pumas the first round of this tournament, and I think we won 5-0 at home. And then we go away, and then we lose 1-0.
Yeah.
And that was at a little bit of altitude. I think Toluca is at maybe 8,000 feet up.
Yeah.
I know that's going to be a struggle. I mean, I played in Denver. I can tell that there was an advantage when I went down to sea level. But I think, one thing that we always hear when we talk to the players and the coaching staff is that no matter where we go, we play our game. I believe we've, almost to a fault last year, but I think this year we're starting to adjust a little bit, kind of feel the game out and, playing what the game provides us versus forcing our way to do our own thing. So I'm assuming we're going to go out there, try to maintain possession, pass the ball around, keep it in their half of the pitch. But then, if they start coming at us and they start pressing really hard, I think we're starting to adjust a little bit and maybe think about just dumping in behind, reshaping, and making sure they keep the ball in front of us. Just try to prevent as many goals as possible versus us going out there and trying to win, 3-0 away from home at altitude in the away stadium.
Yeah, a tie and we move on. But if we lose by 1, chances are they would move on because they got the 2 goals away from home, and we would have to duplicate that. Marvell, hey, great getting a chance to meet with you on the show. It was great. You're good. I hope we get to talk to you again on the, the podcast stuff. Keep us, our soccer fans, man, they love this coverage, and I think everybody loves this team. So we appreciate your insight, and look forward to hopefully catching up with you another time.
Of course, guys. Thank you for the invite. Hope to do it again.
Yes, sir. There he goes. Marvell Gwynn. Brought to you by the SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Marvelous.
13 years in the MLS.
That's a pretty good run.
Means that you're in very good shape.
I told you guys this is how we do it at Poway High, man. We just
oh goodness, here we go. Here we go. This is what
we do.
Here we go. Okay.
Just saying.
Wait, so were you guys the same age, or was he a little bit younger than you?
He was a lot younger than me.
Oh, okay.
He was a lot younger than me. I was already off in, I think I was at State by the time he was at Poway, just killing it.
Because I was going to say, did Xavier Scruggs go to Poway?
Yep. Another Powegian. That's how we do it. I told you, man. That's how we do it.
All right, let's next up, Judd Bushler. Come on, Tom.
That's how we do it.
Let's get my man Bushler on.
Add him to the
What
pack.
about Charlie Hoffman?
We got Charlie.
Add him to the pack.
We already get Charlie. I want Bush. We've had Bushler on before, actually, but I want to get him again. All right, Tony and his Powegian celebrations aside.
I've been told that it's Poway. That's how you pronounce it.
That.
I know Tony doesn't want me to do this, but apparently the official pronunciation is Poway.
No, it's not.
Don't start that.
I was told this by an archaeologist. So
okay.
Told who?
I was told this by an archaeologist.
Why are you hanging along?
Chris, don't even pay him any mind. Just ignore him. He's just let him talk in the wind.
At my other job, we had a podcast about the Kumeyaay Indian reservations, and they said it's Poway.
Well, you know what? As far as my Alexa on my phone is concerned, your name is Scrabby. So should I go with that as well?
Sure. And also your name, it's not Alexa, it's Siri. So.
Well, you know who it is. You know what I mean?
No wonder it's not working. Alexa, I'm trying to talk to you.
No, but when I have you know what I mean? When I have my headphones in, Tony, and you're listening to music and you get a text, then Siri butts in during your music.
Matt Scrabby.
And says, yeah, Scrabby says he'll call you in 20 minutes. I'm like, well, tell him not to call me.
You know what my phone says? Nothing.
Why does it call you Scrabby?
Yeah, because you're green bubbles. That's why you didn't say that.
No, I don't like it when someone's name is announced as they're calling. I don't need their name to be announced as well.
Team Italia just put 2 in the bottom of the second. So they're up 2-0. The Venezuelans are batting in the top of the third. Championship will be tomorrow night. Tony, what'd you think about Luca's push-off in the Denver win the other night?
Knock it off.
Knock it off. I knew it.
Knock it off.
Nothing? No, you got no call on that? So no call?
Butter. That's all. Hey, listen, if Shea can do what he do, that was light work compared to that. So yeah,
I'm not gonna argue with that. Shea,
what did he do the other night? He set some record or like most.
He's
20 points.
Yeah. 20 points, 127 games in a row or something. Hey, did you want to get me in on the Laker Bull game from Friday night, Tony? I don't know, but the 51-point Luca Fest.
Yeah, we don't need to kick you while you're down.
Yeah, we're down. Appreciate you, Tony. Taking it easy on us.
I got you, big dog.
All right, tomorrow we'll do it again from San Diego. Tony, where are you tomorrow? Away, home? What do you got? You know?
I'm heading to the airport after.
Oh, that's right.
The game.
All right. Well, I'll take your spot in Peoria on Wednesday, and then we'll see you when you get back.
Word up.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. Scrabby Chronicles?
That's right.
I forgot about those.
Me too.
The Scrabby Chronicles.
Yeah, the Scrabby Chronicles.
Yeah, they're coming up next on 97.3 The Fan. So long.